We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. There's a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we got the Georgia shooter, and I'm seeing in the comments we have an active shooter in Kentucky shooting at vehicles on the side of the road. Now, you know what they want to do next. Oh, we got to push for gun control. We got to ban guns, all this, that, and the third. I think not. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Lawfare situation going on with Donald Trump. We have a Department of Justice spokesperson from SDNY out there with Alvin Bragg saying that it's ridiculous. It's a perversion of justice and a lot more. Now, I've read that he came out and said that he didn't really mean it, which is bogus. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, a thing that they consider to be bogus, Vladimir Putin says he loves Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. And also, the migrant crisis in Chicago was out of control and people are tired of it. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, I thank y'all for joining me tonight. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on, and shout out to y'all for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Where do we begin? I don't even know. There's a whole lot happening. I'm seeing some trolling. Talking about Vladimir Putin's trolling. He says he loves Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He's trolling. Is he trolling for real? I don't know about that. The media will say that he's trolling, but the media will say anything. I think at this point, we have to understand that the media are not on our side. They're on the side of whatever kind of narrative they got to push, not the people. Same thing, federales, mainstream media is no different. They have a certain view of this country and a certain view of the world that they want to achieve. They think that it is racist to have the shot spotter equipment in these neighborhoods in Chicago, some of these really bad neighborhoods. Your man, Brandon Johnson, that's your man. The mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, talking about, these shot spotter instruments are racist. So it's racist to have tools that can help police to save lives. That's racist. Okay. But that's how they think. So they put certain policies out there, certain things out there that they think are the best for us, which in reality is the best for them. Whether it be financial, they benefit, whether it be they feel good at night. I did the right thing. I helped the poor brown man. I did that. I'm Mr. White Liberal. Look at me. I'm supporting the latest thing. Okay. And if a black guy doesn't want to support it, then I'm going to go full American me. I'm going to go full Django Unchained, the slave owners. I'm going to do all of that if the black guy doesn't support me. Then I'll gaslight him and say he doesn't like black people. That's what they say about conservatives, right? That's what guys like Roland Martin will say. These, leftist figures on television. Oh, these black guys that want to be conservative, they're really white guys and they hate black people. It's ridiculous. I've never gotten so much hate for being a black person than I have while being a conservative from black people and white people, the liberals. Oh, they're crazy, especially when you get them like, listen, if you really want some racism from the so-called white man, get a white liberal comfortable, maybe by themselves, to where they feel like they can't get in trouble because they're really cowards. They're not going to say anything to you in public when they know people are watching or when they know you can kind of get access to them. Example, if it's me and another guy on the street talking, they're not going to speak unless they have confidence. All right, if this guy just stomps me in the wine right now, there's some police right here. I could just go ahead and tell on him and get him locked up. Or he might not do it because we're in a lot of people. That's how they be. Get them by themselves one-on-one. They soft as Charmin. And the policies that they want only help themselves. It helps them financially. A lot of times they work for these NGOs or other kind of government organizations, helps them financially, and it helps them just kind of feel good. Hey, I did a thing. I went down to this community center and I fought for black rights. Meanwhile, the black rights you fought for was the illegal alien invasion. And we have gang wars happening right now, places like Chicago, Denver taking over. You know what was going on in Denver? I'm going to just say this, and I want you guys to let me know if I'm on point or off point, if I'm making sense or if I'm just speaking hogwash. Here's my theory about Denver. And maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not, I don't know, but I'm going to give you my theory. The migrants came in and took over that apartment complex. The gang members came in to cleanse all the people that were already there before the migrants came in. So basically, if you're just a regular white person, black person, whatever, and you were already in those apartments, the gangs came in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 deep and kicked you out. And or they're going to be extorting you for money. That's what happened. So if you don't want that to be going on, then you got to move out. They cleanse you out. So it's only Venezuelans there, and that's it. They want to talk about, meaning Denver or Aurora, Colorado. They want to talk about, oh, well, we didn't endorse this. We're not for this. Well, how do they have jobs? How do these migrants, quote unquote, from Venezuela have jobs? How does that really work? Is there not enough workers in Denver or the Denver metro area? Not enough workers? Can't find enough Americans to do this stuff? You're complaining about the issue, but at the same time, you're trying to suppress the issue because you know if you really let the cat out the bag, then you also got to talk about how it's only Venezuelans there, number one, and number two, all the Venezuelans somehow have jobs. What did they say when they went out there to ask them what's going on with the gangs, with Tren de Agua? Oh, no say, trabajo. Okay, I'm just going to work. You know, I go to work, come home, and that's it. Go to work? Where you work at? As an illegal alien, how you get a job? How you passing the background check? Maybe the same kind of way they passed the background check to get those guns they had in their apartments when they were kicking the door down 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deep. Maybe that same kind of way they got that. But then they say they want to put gun laws on us. Oh, we got school shootings happening. We have these mass shootings happening with 4 dead, 5 dead. Well, how about every weekend in the hood, all over the country, every weekend, X amount of people dead, and it'd be old ladies, regular normies, going to work, no gang relation. You got old ladies getting their homes broken into, and then they delete the old lady after they break into their house. So maybe the old lady, maybe just regular normies, everybody should have the right to access firearms to protect themselves from that criminal element. Now, in the case of the Georgia school shooter, we get to that a little bit later. In the case of the Georgia school shooter, I think maybe there should have been a little bit of discretion on the behalf of the father to be like, hey, you know what? My son has problems. My son's been getting beat up by his mom, who's a dope fiend on fentanyl, in and out of prison, in and out of jail. I'm beating him up too. I'm drinking 18 beers a night. Okay, I'm locking him outside the house. He thinks he's gay. He's getting bullied. The feds have came in my house. Maybe, you know what it makes sense for me is to do 2 things. 1, get my boy some help. Mental help, obviously, because he needs it. Not just because of the bullying and the gay stuff. We're talking about the home life. Dad, you know what the home life is like because you are participating in it. You know his mom is in and out of jail, dealing with fentanyl, all kind of, you know what's going on. Get the boy some help, number 1. And number 2, lock the guns up. Hey, when the feds came to your house, they didn't red flag you. They didn't take your weapons. They just said, hey, are there any guns in the house? Yeah, but they're not loaded and they can't get them. You know what they were asking you at that point. They were asking you, keep the guns away from the boy until we get this whole thing figured out. Because maybe that wasn't him that sent those threats to the middle school talking about you want to shoot it up because it was on Discord. Maybe he got hacked. Maybe it was a lie. But you know something was wrong with your boy. You knew something was wrong with your boy before the feds came. So if you already have issues with your boy, he's already exhibiting signs of potential school shooter activity. If he's already doing that and then the feds come down to your house, knocky, knock, knock. Hey, your son is sending messages. Hey, your son, he's on Discord. He sent messages on, he's talking about he want to shoot a school up. What do? You buy your son an AR for Christmas after that? The feds come to your house in May 23. December 23, you buy him a weapon. Hey, go ahead. And he uses that same gun to go commit the mass shooting. You're an idiot if you do something like that. A complete idiot. It's not even about gun rights. Anybody trying to say you can't have guns, Dad. But maybe if your boy has a mental disorder and you know that he could shoot up a school, maybe you don't give him a gun at that moment. Maybe wait till he gets a little bit older, gets past his mental issues, maybe perhaps not in the midst of him having all these problems. You got to transfer school districts. You got to do all that and still give him the weapon. You're not thinking at all. Yeah, the father is mentally ill and so is the son. Now, I don't know what could have been done in that situation. I don't know what the FBI could have done. They did their job, in my opinion. The only thing they could have done may have violated his rights, red flagged him. Now we're talking about gun confiscation. Now, I think rather than doing that, we should get some parents that understand how to parent their children. At the time the boy was 13 years old, we're talking about a child. This is a minor. This is not an adult. If you're talking about an adult, it just goes out in the world and finds a gun that's different. A 13-year-old, and you know he could potentially shoot up a school, and you get him a weapon, you basically giving them the green light. You put it in his hands, hey, go ahead and take that. Versus keeping the guns locked up and away from him until you get the issue resolved. Obviously, the issue was not resolved, and here we are. But we're going to get into that later because we got, I have an extended version of the interview between the dad and the cops. So we're going to get to all that a little bit later. And shout out to you guys for being here. I really, really, really appreciate y'all. Now, somebody said hood parents. Now, what about hood parents? If a person, let's say, for instance, you got a 14-year-old in the hood and he's part of a gang and he goes out there and shoots somebody. Here's a question. Did the parents know about the gang activity? Number one. Number two, did the parents give their known gang member a gun after knowing they were a gang member, after having the police come to their house talking about how their son is a gang member? If you didn't do anything to try this situation, and if you gave him the weapons, then that's something different than your son just going out there and stealing weapons and getting involved in things on his own. You see, one is enabling after you were alerted. That's what the police said. The police said, well, we told the father about the boy, and he gifted him a rifle after we told him what was going on. The father knows that something's wrong with the boy. He's not making a smart decision. And the house was full of dumb decisions. The neighbor said as soon as they moved in, that family, it was problems from the start. Immediately, it was problems from the start because you got a dysfunctional, crazy family. The whole family been locked up. The mom been locked up, dad's locked up, and the boys locked up. Everybody locked up. Obviously, you got some problems in that house. So yes, if you got all of those problems happening and sheer neglect happening, yes. But if that's the case with hood parents, if that same scenario happens, then that makes sense. But if not, then it doesn't. Then it doesn't. Yeah. I never in my life seen I've seen some, I know I got some friends, obviously, that grew up that kind of life, been to prison, all of that. None of their parents ever said, hey, boy, here's a gun. Go out there and, practice gun safety. I know you're part of this particular set. I see you on Facebook, son, throwing up your gang sign. But guess what? Here go a gun. Now, I know you're part of a gang. You're active. You had already been arrested. You already been locked up. You already been gang banging. You already been putting on for the set. You already done put in work. But hey, here's a gun. You're going to be safe, aren't you, boy? If you think that, you are a drooling moron. You are a mouth drooler if you think that. Okay? Now, if he just goes out there and does it without your participation or encouragement, that's something different. That's not on you, in my opinion. It kind of could be, but not really. Not the same way as giving him the weapon, and then he uses that same weapon to go kill 4 people. I mean, come on. I don't understand. I don't really get how anybody doesn't understand that. Okay. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. Hold on. Found Wisdom says, I'm 43 and I can't touch any of my father's guitars to this day. Was saying with the guns growing up, respect. Exactly. It's just, let's just have some common sense and some structure and boundaries inside the home. That's all. That's all that it is. Now, who was able to buy the gun? Was that The father. Now, what did the father do? Was it a felony? Did he lose his right to be able to have his weapons? Because we don't want to violate anybody's rights. At the same time, if you are in a home and you have children, they don't have that many rights. I mean, they have rights, of course, but they don't have that many rights. Now, my regular everyday walk in life is not going to be a man that just can walk in my house and say, hey, you got to make your bed and do chores. Man, I'll pull my gun out right now. Not seriously, YouTube, not for real. But that's not going to happen to me as a grown man. Ain't going to be no random man from the street talking about, yeah, I'm going to come live with you and tell you what to do, tell you to do chores, make your bed up. That's not going to happen. But if I'm a child, I'm 13 years old, living with my parents, that's what they do. They're going to tell me to do X, Y, and Z, and I got to follow the rules. Or I get punished or whatever the case may be. That's how it is when you're a child. But too many parents don't care about their children. Just let them go out there and do whatever they do. And then when they delete people in the school, everybody's surprised. When in reality, everybody beyond that household saw it coming from a mile away. Even the dad saw it coming, but he's so much of an idiot that he didn't think one step, the best step would be to keep the guns away from the boy. It's so simple. It is really just that simple. So Plain Jane says, ABL, did I see the active shooter on I-70 right now, Eastern Kentucky? Now, my thing is, why they can't just get him? I mean, why can't they just get him? You understand? Hold on. Let me see. Active shooter. I'm seeing people have it, but they're not really. It's just a bunch of random stations that have it up here. So I got a news clip. People are trying to follow it, but let's just play a news clip right quick, shall we? Oh, and before we get to the news clip, I almost forgot. Shout out to my sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description. Also, just go to patriotpost.us in the browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Go to ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Check it out in the box. Type it in the browser bar. Also, go to anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. We have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, from Democrat, Republican, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it. As long as it's legal, I'll post it right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, if you're ever wondering if it's me or not talking at you in the DMs or in the YouTube comment section, it's probably not, especially if they talk like this on their phone when you talk to them. It's not me. And if they say something like, oh, send me some Apple iTunes gift cards, Bitcoin, Forex, get rich quick schemes, anything like that, that's not me. Listen, I'm not going to contact you first. And if you contact me, the email is on the website. And I do read you guys' emails. Thank you for sending me tips. Thank you for sending me positive affirmations. And thank you for not spamming me. I really, really appreciate it. But that's the way. Contact at anthonyblogan.com. The email is always on the website. It's real easy. If it's not that, it's not me. I don't have all these accounts. Idiots. But anyway, let's get to this news clip right here about the I-75 shooting. Now, I've been that way. I-75, I go up that way to go West Virginia. Because you go past Knoxville or through Knoxville. Then you go up to like Jellicoe, all of that little mountain right there. And then you come up to like Lexington, that particular area. Okay, you go up that way. You're going toward UK. You're going up that way. Yeah, nice area. I don't know what's going on with this mass shooter. Let's take a look, shall we? All right, and sorry for the big frame. Yeah, I ain't trying to be funny, but it was like that last time I was on live. All right, let's get it fixed. There we go.
that we are getting word of at this moment, a shooting near the I-75 in Kentucky. I'd like to put up this tweet here from the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, is saying this: Kentucky, we are aware of a shooting on I-75 in Laurel County. Law enforcement has shut the interstate down in both directions at exit 49. Please avoid the area. We will provide more details once they are available. So a little bit more context as to this, a developing story that we are monitoring here at Live Now from Fox. The shooting being investigated in Kentucky near I-75. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office first put out an alert around 6:45 p.m. local time to avoid I-75 in a particular area in London, Kentucky, due to an active shooter situation. The office said in a post on Facebook that, quote, numerous persons had been shot, but didn't elaborate. The mayor of London, Randall Weddle, also posted on his official Facebook page to avoid the area until further notice. Governor Andy Beshear, as I had mentioned, saying his office was aware of a shooting on I-75 and said law enforcement had shut down the interstate in both directions. Again, this is a developing story, and still we are working to get more information. Another tweet here from the governor saying, I am receiving initial reports from the Kentucky State Police and our Office of Homeland Security. Together, we are actively monitoring the situation and offering support in any way possible. Please pray for everyone involved. It's just one of those breaking news situations that we are going to monitor throughout this evening. We don't have too many details on exactly how many people were shot, if anybody was critically injured, or if anyone has died.
Now, there have been people that were hit, but I don't know if anybody died. And I don't know what was going on. Like a guy was just on the side of the road shooting. I don't know. But yeah. Shout out I-75. Yeah, I just looked at the map, and you go through Knoxville, then you got mountains, and once you get to the border of Tennessee and Kentucky, you have Jellicoe. Like, you climb in the mountain. Once you get to the top, there's Jellicoe. You keep going. You go to like Richmond, Kentucky. Then you could go to Lexington if you keep going due west along 75. You can go that way. You could go due east and go through, Winchester, and go to West Virginia. I was out that area. It was different. The way that it was, like the way the urban setup was, it was much different than I've seen before. I can't really describe it. It was like you starting to get maybe to like a Midwest type of feel, but not. It was really weird to me. But I like Kentucky, just driving through it. It was cool. I like, especially like Richmond, that area, Richmond, Kentucky. That was nice. They got a Buc-ee's out there. It was cool. Yes, it was on the highway, I-75, just out there. So I don't know. Maybe it was a guy on the side of the road. Maybe it was a guy that was in his vehicle driving around. I don't think it was like the Lee Boyd Malvo DC sniper situation. Now, that whole thing was crazy back in the day. Do y'all remember that DC sniper back years ago? When was that anyway? Hold on. DC sniper. So the movie came out. So that was 2002. Wow. I remember that very well because I had just graduated high school. I remember that. And I remember because I'm in Virginia and I got a lot of family in DC, like in Washington, DC, Southeast DC, all of that, right outside of DC. So I was worried about family and I was worried about them coming down like in Virginia because DC is right there. So Northern Virginia, I think they were Northern Virginia too. So I didn't want them to come down south. I think they came as far south as like Fredericksburg or something. They were way down there, and that's not that far away. Hold on, let me see. So Virginia, where were they at? They were in Bowie, Maryland, Spotsylvania. What was that? PG County, Prince William, and Arlington, Fairfax, all of that. So that's like northern. But I think they came all the way down to like Fredericksburg. They were way down. They were getting kind of close to my neck of the woods. So, but I don't think this is that. I don't think so. Yeah, Tarp gas stations, that's right. Yeah. John Lee Malvo. What'd I say? Lee Boyd Malvo. Lee Boyd Malvo, I'm saying it right, yeah. Oh, he was also known as John Lee Malvo. Okay. I only ever knew Lee Boyd Malvo. Now, Lee Boyd Malvo, that was the kid. I don't know how that whole thing happened with him and the sniper. Anyway, I'm getting way too off the rails right now, so I digress. All right. Now, hold on. I'm going to read this right here. Kai's Posthumous asked me, how do I think that he got the gun on the campus? The dad? What do you mean? You think the dad got a gun on the campus? You think the dad was there like an accomplice? I don't know about that one. I mean, yeah, I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't know how he got the actual long gun inside of the actual school. Because the school, it appeared to be pretty secure. They had SROs, they had a rapid response team, they had the teachers had these badges, and you could push a button on the back of the badge to activate and get the authorities to the school immediately beyond the SROs that were already there, or at least the one SRO. The student resource officer, they had at least one of those on campus, and then they brought in more police from the local area with the button on the back of their badge. So I don't know how he got the rifle into the school. That's still $1 million question that I'd love to get answered at a certain point. Yeah, that's right, panic buttons. But even if it was a short AR, Carl Sims, even if it was a short rifle, a short barrel rifle, it's still a big weapon. I got an SBR, allegedly. Actually, I had an SBR until the tragic boating accident, and then it fell into the bottom of the Tennessee River. So if you go out there paddleboarding or fishing or whatever, crabbing, you put your net in the water, and here come a beautiful short barrel rifle, allegedly, then maybe it might have been mine at one point in time. But I don't own anything like that because I don't break the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I buy my gun straight from the gun store and pass a background check. I don't do no illegal activity. Okay, and that's 100% right. I go to court right now, and they say, hey, ABL, what did you say on a live stream on September 7, 2024 about your gun ownership? I'm going to say, look, tragic boating accident, the kids are crying, the boat was on fire, the kayak sunk to the bottom of the Tennessee River, and all my guns fell with it, and any gun I ever had, I bought legally 100%. I didn't get it from Paw. I didn't get it from Pookie and Ray and them on the street. Nope, I got it 100% legally through the process of background check. Now, your man Joe Biden can't say that. Joe Biden, his son, can't say that. Hunter Biden, he can't say that. He was smoking crack while buying his weapon. Where you do that at? Like, how you are a full crackhead going to buy a weapon? You can't pass a background check. What's part of the background check? Are you a crack smoker? Do you smoke crack for a living? That's right there on the thing. It'll say right there on the background check. Do you smoke crack for a living? Check yay or nay. He said nay, and it was a lie. We saw him on videotape beaming to Scotty. Beaming all the way to Scotty. We saw that. We sure did. We saw him with no pants on with the pistol and the crack pipe. But when he does it, it's fine. When he does it, it's fine. But when I have an SBR, then they want to come knock at my door and get me sent to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little rocks. I don't like it. But anyway, I saw that Hunter pleaded guilty to something, to the text thing. Let me show you guys that right quick. Now, he pleaded guilty. He's facing 17 years in the penitentiary. Do you think that he's going to go to prison? Y'all let me know. Let me pull the article up right quick for you guys. And we're going to get into a lot more tonight. And I appreciate y'all for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the interwebs. But let's check it out. Hunter Biden pleads guilty in tax case. The guilty plea now exposes President Biden's son to a likely outcome that once seemed unthinkable. Significant time behind bars. Now, remember how we got here. There was a plea deal on the table that pretty much, it would have been a slap on the wrist at best. It would have been a slap on the wrist at best. But what happened was Judge Noriega, shout out to her, she was sent the plea deal to basically give it the green light. Rubber stamp, let it go. But she looking at it like, wait a minute. You want immunity for future stuff? You want just, to do whatever you want to do, huh? No, I'm not going to approve that. So the plea deal falls apart, and now he's got to actually go through a little bit of court action as a regular person. A little bit of court action as a regular person. Now, if he doesn't get locked up, then there's no, you can't say that a tax case is worthy of being locked up over. We've seen celebrities go to prison for this, tax fraud, tax evasion. Even in the case of some of these guys like a Fat Joe, the rapper, I think, and if I'm wrong, y'all correct me, I think Fat Joe, what happened with him before we go any further, what happened with Fat Joe is that he was paying a money guy, like an accountant or something. He was giving the accountant his money so he could pay the taxes for him. Look, make sure I'm compliant. Make sure I'm paying my taxes. Here's the money. Go take care of it. What happened was the tax guy's son became a paraplegic after an accident. So he was taking the money that Fat Joe was giving him, and rather than paying Fat Joe's taxes, he took care of his quadriplegic son. So now the IRS come knock on Fat Joe's door like, hey, man, you've not paid taxes in 3 years or however long it was. You've not paid taxes. So now you're going to go to prison. What? I'm paying my tax guy. Nah, it's your responsibility. You've not paid taxes. He stole from you, and that's fine, but you've not paid taxes. Now, I think he was able to devise a plan to pay everything back, and he did pay it back. Or he paid the money to the IRS that was stolen from him that he thought was going to the IRS at first, if you catch my drift, right? He paid all the money back, and he still went to prison. So if Hunter is allowed to go scot-free, then this law means nothing. If he can go scot-free, then the law means nothing. I don't want to see anybody else going to prison for what he did if he doesn't go. And I don't want it to be some small sentence, Club Fed, Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg. Nah, go to a regular prison. They were trying to get Trump to they wanted Trump to go to Rikers Island. Trump would never, but they were trying. So try it for him too. Try it for him too. If you're going to have a system of justice, let's let it be fair and even across the board, not just one way if your last name is Trump and different if your last name is Biden. That's all. Was it Wesley Snipes that had to happen to him? Was it Wesley or was it Joe? They both went to prison. Now, I think it might have been Wesley or Joe that paid the money back, but regardless of what, they still went to prison after they paid the money back because the point was you evaded taxes. You still did the act of evading taxes, even if it wasn't your fault. So what? At the end of the day, it's in your name and it didn't go through. So now you got to pay 81,000 IRS agents. That's right. 81,000 IRS agents. If you're going to hire 81,000, 87,000 or whatever IRS agents and then let Hunter Biden get off scot-free with a slam dunk plus like more than $1 million tax case, if he's able to skate on that, then why did you hire all those agents? For what? What are they going to do? Are they going to audit traffic tickets? I don't understand what they're going to do. Do you need that many agents to get the big guys like Joe Biden and Hunter Biden? What are you going to do? You want to tax the rich, but they're already taxed to death, and you keep taxing them too much, they're going to leave. They're already going to Puerto Rico, places like this to avoid the federal taxes. They're already doing that, but you keep on messing around, they're going to leave America altogether. Like a Russell Simmons going to Bali, hiding out from the federales, right? Let's go out there and let's bring our money with us. Bank runs, all of that could happen. So you shouldn't really be trying to, quote unquote, tax the rich to death because you're going to tax them away from the country. Now, I got a meme. This is just a meme. It's just a joke. I don't want nobody talking about you're playing fake videos, ABL. This video that I'm going to play right now is a joke from JP Sears. Shout out to him.
You're drunk, right?
Okay, let's check it out. And let's go ahead and roll it.
You're drunk right now.
And that's not going to change.
You kind of have a drinking problem.
I recognize the problem.
Well, fair enough. Okay, we're live. Kamala Harris, welcome. And I see you brought your emotional support dog with you today, which is great. Before I came in, your campaign staff out there gave me this list of really great softball questions that I'm allowed to ask. Help stay true to the spirit of journalism. So thanks for that.
That's pretty much what was going on. So shout out to JP Sears. Absolutely. Now, Kamala, some say that she's drunk a lot. I don't know if she is or if she isn't, but if she is, then it kind of fits the behavior pattern. If it was to be a news story that breaks and says, breaking news, Kamala Harris has checked into rehab and she's going to be there for 6 to 8 weeks for alcoholism, I'd be like, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I won't be surprised about that. That'll pretty much fit. All right. But yeah, shout out to JP Sears. Amazing social media personality. All right. Now, if you like that video, you're going to love this one. Now, listen, remember the Australian breakdancer? Remember Reagan? First of all, Reagan apologized to the breakdancer community. Hold on. She apologized talking about I can't control how people react to what I'm doing. Hold on. And if you don't remember who I'm talking about, this picture and headline will spark your memory. Okay. There we go. Reagan apologizes to the breakdance community for backlash to her Paris Olympic performance. So that's her right there. You remember the moves, the kangaroo, all of that kind of stuff. You remember the moves. Now, she interviewed with Australian current affairs show The Project broadcast on Wednesday. She's very sorry for the backlash that the community has experienced as a result of her performance. Basically, she was like, look, I cannot control how others react. Okay, I can't control it. It is what it is. All right, but that's her right there. Okay, that is her. Now, we have a breakdancer circle. Now, to call this a breakdancer circle might be a tad bit of a stretch. Just a tad bit of a stretch, okay? So if you're ready to cringe, I'm right here with you. Let's go.
Kangaroo, do the kangaroo.
Do the kangaroo. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this is not breakdancing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what this is. Y'all, please let me know. Australians, if you got any Australians in the chat, let me know what's happening. Am I seeing a cultural dance? Like, what is going on? Australia, disband your breakdancing community. Listen, Australia, disband the breakdancing community in your country. Because I don't know what's going on here, but this ain't breakdancing. This is my uncle that got a little bit too drunk and is just acting the fool. That's what's happening right now. Nah, bro tore his pants off. Sir, you're built like Jack Black in about 15 years ago. Tearing your pants off. Is that what we're going to do? Like you about to go play basketball? You're tearing your warm-ups off, my man? All right, that's about enough of that. That is about enough of that. Listen, Australia, I don't want to see any more so-called break dancing from you guys. You know what? Maybe that's why Reagan didn't know that she was doing that bad, because look at her colleagues. Her colleagues looking like, you know, hey, man, we getting loose after the office. We having an office function. Y'all done put a little bit too much taquitos in the punch, and we're out here just doing whatever. My man tearing his pants off. You got old Paw on top of his head. Do the kangaroo was funny, but yeah, and it was actually kind of like an incident. It was a real thing. People were upset talking about, how could you say that? We love her. Australia loves her. It's like, man, stop. Please stop. All right. Now coming back to America, street interviews. Kamala or
Trump?
Kamala.
What's your favorite thing about Kamala Harris? I mean, she's a black woman that's a Democrat, and it's not racist. So, yeah.
She's a black woman, Democrat, and not racist. And what is your biggest dislikes about Trump?
He's a racist. He hates black people.
He hates black people?
Yeah.
What's your biggest proof of that?
Project 2025.
Okay, hold on. All right, I'm gonna stop.
Project 2025?
Yeah.
What do you have to say for the people who would argue that he's not part of 2025?
You're just wrong.
What would you say is your favorite policy of Kamala Harris's?
Making sure, like, if you're able to retire, like, with dignity. So they don't want to hurt things. You don't have
What? What does that mean? Retire with dignity? What that mean?
we're stressed about, like, making more money after you're, like, retired. And, like, paying more bills and struggling to be, like, say, like, you don't have to worry about ending up on the streets.
See, look, you know what? I'm gonna just pause. I'm gonna pause. This is why sometimes, you know, a lot of people that create content, a lot of young guys, especially people that just start creating videos for the first time, they get caught up in reading comments from people, and they think that these people have a brain. They think that the people that write these negative comments are smart. They think that what they say matters. Listen, the person writing the N-word in your email, the person with the negative comment on your video, a lot of the times they're barely able to read. I'm talking about 1 + 1 might not be 2 in their mind. Duck, duck, goose is a hard game to play. What's a duck? What's a goose? I don't know. Shannon Sharp, I was watching Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho, hilarious. And he said, I could tell your grades were awarded with cookies and stars. You got cookies and stars for getting good grades in school. That's what you got. A lot of these people, that's how they think. They don't know anything. And I'm not here trying to attack her as a cookie and star reward recipient. I'm just saying, I don't get mad at them because I know they don't know anything. They don't know anything. So I'm here to educate. I'm here to inform. I'm here to give you what you need to have, to point you in the right direction. Project 2025, what about Project 2025? It's bad. I don't know. It's racist. Hey, do you know that that's not Trump's plan? He has his own plan. I don't know. That's racist.
What's the policy for that specifically that's going to help with that?
I'm not sure.
Not sure?
Nope.
What did you hear about that?
One of her ads.
One of her ads?
Yeah.
On TikTok, that's what she wanted to say. Hey, when he said, where'd you hear about that? The correct answer is I saw it on my TikTok, and I believe it. Because I believe whatever I see on TikTok. Ain't that right?
Okay. Would you say that she's been successful the past 3.5 years in office?
Actually, I have not heard much about her, if I'm being honest. But, yeah. It's better than the other option, I feel like. I felt like I was unsafe with Trump in office.
How so?
I have to worry about people, like, my rights being terminated because of the skin color and, yeah. Me being a woman, and my skin being black.
And compared to now?
I still kind of feel the same way, but I feel a little bit more safer with, like, non-racist people being in office. I feel like.
Yeah, so there we go. That's what you're going to get out there in the street. That is what you're going to get out there in the street. So I don't even get mad. It's like, you know what? You're not playing with a full deck, no way. You got about a few cards missing out of that deck, okay? You shuffling, and it ain't shuffling right. Okay, you got tears in the card deck and everything. I know you ain't really playing with the full deck, so it's fine. All right, let's keep on going.
What's the biggest threat to America?
The media.
Why?
The media is the enemy of the people. Take a look at the Trump versus Biden debate, that first debate that ever happened. Before that debate, the media was all in with Biden, was promoting him, was saying that it was a right-wing conspiracy if you say that Biden is senile, Biden has dementia, Biden has lost his step, and Biden is not in control. Then the debate happens, and the largest audience ever of American people, but also the world, had now seen on that stage that Biden cannot complete a sentence. Keep in mind, they've known this the whole time. This guy has been cooked since 2020. And then immediately the media changes tune, saying Biden's senile, Biden's this, Biden's that. The media switches and changes up, and then they usher in Kamala. They literally attempted a coup on Biden, and they were successful. No one voted for Kamala to be the Democratic nominee. For the party that says that Trump is this huge threat to democracy, that was one of the most anti-democratic things that I have ever seen. And so now the media is fully on board with Kamala. They're saying that she's ahead in the polls. How do they conduct the polls? I've never been called by CNN. Have you?
No.
I've never been called by Washington Post. I've never been polled. The media is what causes divide. It causes racial divide. It causes family divide. It causes political divide. It causes fear, uncertainty. It makes people feel like the world's ending, when if you just come outside and touch grass, life's pretty good. So I think the media is the enemy of the people. The media is the biggest threat to the American public and to the world. They're just complete liars and cappers and frauds and scammers.
Very, very well said. Very, very, very well said. The media is the driving force behind all of the division. Just like you saw the young lady right there, and he's asking her about certain things. All she had was whatever the media gave her through her TikTok ads and things of this nature. That's all that they have. There's a bunch of money spent on brainwash people like that. Okay, we're going to pay a certain influencer. We saw the video before where the influencer was talking about she can make about $10,000, up to $10,000 for an ad that she reads on TikTok. And the ad she was working on specifically was about Project 2025. And there's nothing about any kind of real policy in Project 2025. It's all about just trying to make people afraid of it. So when they hear that, they just kind of have a reaction. It's not even about being honest and saying that Project 2025 is not Trump's plan and it comes from a separate entity. It's not even about that. It's about just trying to make simple things stick in someone's mind like a fast food jingle. It's all marketing trying to brainwash you. It's real simple. But it's like that, but for political stuff. They could just say a short phrase, Project 2025, racist, things like this. You could just kind of catch on easy. That's all. So yeah, my man right there was right on point. The media is most certainly the enemy of the people. Let's keep on going.
For Kamala.
All right. Another one. Kamala, Trump, what's going on? Check it out.
For Kamala.
Kamala.
Why Kamala?
Just because of policies. She's more vocal on her policies.
Could you name 3 of her policies for me?
Well, I mean...
Got this, man.
No, you good, you good.
I ain't trying to be encouraging. You got this. I believe in you. You can name 3 policies. Just one to start, that'd be great. But I believe in you. You got it. Let's go.
Sorry, it just economy caught me off guard.
No, yeah, they always get caught off guard. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, my mind starts to race once I start talking about politics.
Hey, I understand
like that. Y'all have a good day.
Yes, sir. For Kamala.
There it is, man. Hey, man, I was rooting for you. I was really rooting for you, man. But you didn't name one policy, man. You didn't name one thing. Hey, ABL, why do you like Trump? Name me 3 policies. Closing the border up, not getting involved in foreign wars, low taxes. That's 3 right there. Low taxes, no foreign wars, and closing the border. We could just keep on going. That's just off the cuff right now. If you came and asked me in any place, wherever I'm at, I could give you that answer right away. I give you the answer. But if you don't really know, you're not going to be able to do it. And most people don't know. They just don't know, so they can't answer the question. All right. Now, speaking about not knowing, again, we kind of go back to the same thing. This is Angel Reese. You may know her. College basketball player, is now in the WNBA, playing for the Chicago Liberty, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the WNBA teams, but it's kind of a rivalry between her and Caitlin Clark. You know the whole thing. Black, white, whatever. Now, here she is talking about her vaccination status, unfortunately.
And COVID is real.
COVID is back and real. It's not a joke.
So what's going on with this COVID scare that your team just had?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know.
Some people are sick, or they just thought they were sick.
If you feel sick, obviously you can test on your own. But due to like the CDC and the WNBA, they've agreed like if you even have COVID, you can play.
Oh, you can play?
Yeah, you can play. You can play. As long as you're not having symptoms where you're like hacking all over the court. Like, yeah. But you can play. But I'll be masked up. I don't play that.
Are you vaccinated?
I am. And
okay,
boosted.
Good. Oh, and boosted.
And boosted.
Period.
And I'm waiting for the next one to come out.
And COVID is real.
Now, you know what they did? What's funny is that Now, here's my theory. And if I'm correct, incorrect, you let me know in the comments. What they did was they rebranded the yearly flu vaccination as COVID-19 vaccination. So all you're doing is getting the flu shot, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And the reason why I say that is because during the scamdemic, they have data of flu, COVID, whatever. And then one year it was next to no flu cases, no flu deaths. And it was all COVID deaths. I'm like, for real? So the same number every year is right around the same number of deaths from the flu every year. All of a sudden, one year it wasn't, and it was COVID deaths instead along the same line. So it's like, okay, in 2021 it's X. No, in 2019 it's X. 2020 is X. 2021 it's Y. And then 2022 is back to X for flu deaths. It's dumb. They're giving you a flu shot, but to increase compliance, they have branded it as COVID-19 and made you afraid of it. You're not afraid of the flu, but you're afraid of COVID-19. All right. So that's kind of what that is. And she probably was not paid to say that, Laura Catherine. She probably was not paid. They really believe that. They really, really actually believe that because of what they've been told by the media. It's simple. Okay. Wearing masks and stuff. And here we got some more mask rangers in the grocery store.
The family trips me out. All three of them are double masked. They are so afraid of fresh air, man. Holy smokes. It's actually pretty sad.
It's like, what are we even doing with all this mask activity? I don't understand. And then the crazy part is, it's like, you know kind of what's going on. People will wear a mask to substitute physical fitness. Because look, can I just be honest? If you're that concerned about your health, if you're that worried about your health, you could do other things aside from wearing the mask to have a healthy life, right? The craziest thing is when I see a 700-pound person in the grocery store covered in warts head to toe, right? Eastern European covered in, well, they ain't gonna get no vaccination, but they covered in warts head to toe, and then they got the crazy mask on. It's like, hey, there's other issues you have going on aside from the mask, okay? So let's focus on what needs to be focused on first. The mask is an easy way to say that I'm being healthy. Also, it's a way to virtue signal. I'm better than everybody because I protect myself from the world. I protect grandma. It's that still going on. But in reality, it does nothing. It's just a symbol. It's like a tattoo you wearing. With some skull and bones or something like this. It's just something you showing other people. It doesn't actually help you at all. Yeah, it's sugar and carbs all in the cart. When I go to Wally World at the first of the month, right around the first of the month time, right around EBT card refresh time, you know what I'm talking about. Right around EBT card refresh time, if I go to Wally World, I'm going to see all kind of cookies and cakes and pies and garbage in the cart. They don't even go to the produce section at all. That section, that side of Walmart, be empty. But where the honey buns and all that good stuff are, oh, they be in there deep. I've seen guys getting Cokes, getting all kind of sugar, but put the mask on, right? I'm in the restaurant. I'm eating a really big back plate in the restaurant. But you know what I got on? I got this mask on because I can't get COVID. I can get diabetes, heart disease, but COVID, I would never. But anyway, speaking about stores, RIP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise, but this is the Rite Aid in Compton. Do you want to go to the Rite Aid in Compton? I didn't know Rite Aid was still around. I thought they had pretty much went bankrupt, but everything's locked up. Now, this is an inconvenient convenience store. If I got to go get the front guy to open up the shelves for everything, I can't even get a bottle of sugar water in peace. I got to press the button for assistance to have them come and give me a Canada Dry ginger ale. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. But what are they to do? If you can't stop the criminality, if there's no law enforcement that can help you, listen, you could call the police. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. There's some prosecution below $1,000. So these kind of convenience store, low price stores have no choice other than to lock everything up, because without that, then they just couldn't make any money to continue. That's all. Walgreens, Rite Aid, that's right. It's a mess. It's a mess. I wouldn't do it. If that was my local Rite Aid, I wouldn't even go in there. I wouldn't even go in there because it's like, what's the point? All right. We're not actually going to get anything accomplished here. Now, this might be an older video. I'm not really sure. But this was a great video I just wanted to show. This is of a gun instruction class and a guy trying to come into the class and steal something from somebody. And then things just go from bad to worse for him. So I don't know what his deal was, why he went to this class specifically to do this. It was definitely a bad decision. Check it out.
And rifling through a bag.
Hold on. Let me start from the top.
Mr. Payton entered the room and began rifling through a bag.
This is a concealed carry
a handgun
class
that belonged to one of the students. The owner of the bag was able to prevent the gun from being stolen, and Mr. Payton was escorted out of the classroom at that time. An employee spoke to Mr. Payton for several minutes trying to figure out what he was doing in the gun range. A short time later, another employee called police to report the attempted grand larceny. 3 employees escorted Mr. Payton outside of the business and waited for officers to arrive. Officer Wynn and his partner instructed Mr. Payton to stand in front of their patrol vehicle. Mr. Payton ignored those instructions and started to walk away while hiding his right hand in his jacket pocket. Officers attempted to grab Mr. Payton, but he pulled away and still refused to listen to the officers. Officers attempted to grab Mr. Payton by his arms once again to gain control of him. This time, Mr. Payton pulled away and produced a screwdriver from his pocket.
Watch him
and
hit this
violently
policeman.
attacked the officers.
Watch him. He stabs him with the screwdriver.
Mr. Payton made several overhand strikes with the screwdriver
and then
towards
the
one of
class
the
come
officer's
outside.
head and neck area.
Well, he
Mr.
stabs
Payton
her.
was able to stab one officer during his violent attack.
Wow.
As the injured officer fell to the ground, Officer Wynn and 3 employees of the business discharged their firearms, striking Mr. Payton. Officers immediately summoned medical personnel, but Mr. Payton succumbed to his injuries at the scene.
Hey, man, like, you're at a gun safety class. What do you think is going to be the result of doing something like that? All right. So was that the final test to see if you're going to be able to step in and save somebody? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what that guy was going through, but he's not going through it no more because he dead. He dead. Hey, class in session. That's right. Look, I don't advocate no violence, but you got a guy out here stabbing police officers. Like, okay, you were confronted first. It wasn't no gunplay involved. We just escorted it out. Wait till the police get there. The police get there. You want to try to delete the police with a screwdriver. So now the class is going to do what they should be doing. They're going to go ahead and eliminate the threat. Very simple. That's how it's done. That is right. That is gun safety, and that is everything they did was right on point. Right on point. That right there should be part of the gun safety class. That video we just saw. All right. So yeah, shout out to them for doing the right thing. Yeah, shout out to them. All right. Now, speaking of doing the wrong thing, you have Steph Curry, NBA basketball player, who says he's a Christian, right? He's a Christian, but he endorses Kamala Harris because of abortion rights. Make that make sense, sir. How are you going to be a Christian, but then say you believe in deleting babies? Where are we doing that at? What type of Christian church proposes this doctrine? Whatever kind of church you go that says you could do that, I don't want to go there ever in my life. Check it out.
Obviously, endorsing Kamala is important for me, for my family.
Why? What are the issues you care about most?
Say what?
What are the issues you care about?
I just know from especially women's rights and thinking about, what's at stake with this election and understanding, like, we need to be in a position where women have the right to choose what's right for them, and that's at the top of the list for me. I have amazing women in my life who've been a huge inspiration to me. But knowing Kamala and having been around her, and I understand she's qualified for this job. She's, I think, representing what it means to be a great leader and being a decent human being in terms of representing our country the right way. So it's an easy choice for me, but to be able to have be in a situation where you can be a part of the DNC, do a video like that, let people know where I feel like, but foster positive conversations, through it all. I think that's what our country needs.
So yeah, there we have it. A Christian, so-called Christian, saying, "Hey, let's support Kamala. I believe in the right to delete babies." Yeah, that's very Christian. All right, it's so sad. I think he's a great basketball player. I wish that some of these guys would just not tell me their political opinion. That'll just make life so much easier. Okay. Now, sometimes I do like their political opinion. I ain't gonna lie. So sometimes I get. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Sometimes I'm surprised by someone's political opinion. Or,
I know
you know what? I ain't gonna say too much. Let's just play this. Elton John. Okay, let's see this. This is a newer video, and someone is asking him about the whole Rocket Man thing. Remember, Trump called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man. He's on a suicide mission for himself. Remember that? So they're asking Elton John about that because obviously Rocket Man is an Elton John song for you young guys who don't know that. So let's check it out.
I know that you're not a supporter of Donald Trump's. He loves your music. How did it feel when he took the lyrics to Rocket Man and he used it as a nickname for Kim Jong-un, and then he gave Kim Jong-un
I laughed. I thought it was brilliant. I just thought, good on you, Donald. I'm the Rocket Man, yeah. Donald's always been a fan of mine, and he's been to my concerts many, many times. So, I've always been friendly towards him, and I thank him for his support. Yeah, when he did that, I just thought it was hilarious. It made me laugh.
He gave Kim one of your CDs and signed it. That was in one of the books about him, because Kim, I guess, didn't know the song, so...
What's that?
He gave Kim Jong-un the signed CD.
Yes.
Which
yeah.
He'd never heard of it.
I know, because he hasn't heard of me, Kim Jong-un. Maybe I'd be very surprised if he had. I've never toured North Korea, and I have no intention of doing so. But it was. I thought it was a light moment, and it was fun.
So yeah, that is Elton John. That's a newer video saying that he appreciates Trump for his support. Now, as far as I can recall, Elton John was a big never Trumper. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering the Mandela effect. I don't really know what's going on. But I don't recall Elton John ever being a Trump supporter, at least politically. Maybe he was friends with him before he became president like everybody else was. Everybody in the world loved Trump before he became the president. But then after he became the president and during his run, he became the worst person on planet Earth. How does that make any sense? How can you be best friends with somebody one day and hate them the next day? What changed? What really changed? It's the same guy you've been known from the beginning. But anyway, let me play. Let me play the video that I'm referencing as far as the whole Rocket Man comment. Short little video. And then we keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Check this out. This is back in 2017. Almost not 1 year to the day. Almost on the day, September 19, 2017. Check it out.
No one has shown more contempt for other nations and for the well-being of their own people than the depraved regime in North Korea. It is responsible for the starvation deaths of millions of North Koreans, and for the imprisonment, torture, killing, and oppression of countless more. We were all witness to the regime's deadly abuse when an innocent American college student, Otto Warmbier, was returned to America only to die a few days later. We saw it in the assassination of the dictator's brother, using banned nerve agents in an international airport. We know it kidnapped a sweet 13-year-old Japanese...
Hold on. I kind of want to go ahead. I don't want to play too much.
But if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
So that's where the whole Rocket Man came from, because Rocket Man is an Elton John song. All right. But anyway, shout out to Trump and shout out to Elton John for recognizing Trump and being very kind. Now, I got a question. Hayward, California, would you pay this amount of money for this home? I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys. So if you can't see the screen, this is $499,000, 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,170 square foot, terms, cash, assumable. Now look at this. You're talking about a bando, an abandoned home. All right. Not even no plywood on the windows. It's just a whole big mess. It's quite a work needs to be done. That roof is out of there. Everything, the paint, the roof, the siding, the doors, the windows. Yeah, you might buy it for $500,000, but you're gonna need to put another $500 bare minimum into it to get it any kind of way livable at all. The yard ain't no grass, it's junked, it's a mess. $500,000 for that. That kind of house right there, again, that's Hayward, California. That kind of house right there would be $5 in Chicago. Not Chicago, Detroit. That'll be $5 in Detroit. Now the taxes are going to be crazy on it, but you could still buy the home for $5. All right. Crazy. Yeah, a little bit of paint that might do it right there. A little bit of paint. You California guys, I don't know how you do it, man. It's just, I mean, it might be nice weather or whatever, but good grief, how can you live out there? The gas, everything, it's a complete mess. Now, speaking about Chicago, actually, where I wanted to go with this was the illegal aliens, the migrant crisis. Now, I played this on my video earlier, but I got to show the sign one more time for you guys who didn't see it. Now, let me explain what's going on. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to bring up the people that have done this. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to do that first. I'm going to show you who's behind the sign after I show you the sign itself. You understand? So let me show you the sign first, and then I'm going to show you who's behind it. So RevCom Corps. Yeah. RevCom Corps Shy. Okay. Boom. So where are we at? Okay. This is a sign that they put in black neighborhoods in Chicago. Okay. Look at this. It says black people hating on immigrants. Nonsense and worse from people who should know better. Okay. And they have a QR code and some more stuff. They're putting these in black neighborhoods in Chicago. Now, this kind of comes off as threatening. Don't say anything about what's going on. After all, you should know better. Excuse me? So if I don't want crime, violence, drugs, guns, everything in my community, I'm somehow wrong because I'm black? Look, in the community in Chicago, you already got a problem with the gangs and everything else. The migrants come in and just make matters worse. They're intensifying the problem. What we should be able to count on from our city, from our state, is law enforcement to be able to do their job and to clean up bad areas to the best of their ability. It can't just be the police doing it and the community does nothing, but we should expect them to not bring in new people that are going to make matters worse. If you do nothing else, don't bring in a criminal element to an already bad situation, and then don't try to threaten me with this sign in my neighborhood talking about I shouldn't be hating on them. What? Man, please. Ain't no way. Now, this sign was put up by a white liberal group, some communists, actually. Let me show you who put the sign up right quick. And then we're going to get right back to the video of her tearing down these people. All right. So this is RevCom Corps Shy. All right. This is them. You know, the typical. That's them. Okay. Where you get organized real revolution to emancipate humanity, guided by Bob Avakian's new synthesis of communism. Okay. So they're telling you we're communists, we're in Chicago, and we're going to put signs in the community, in the black community, to threaten them against speaking out against migrant crisis. Because a lot of black folks been going to city council meetings, speaking their mind, expressing their grievance. White liberals say don't do that or it's going to be a problem. Okay, white liberal communists, they're saying it right here. Again, this particular group, RevCom Court Shy, is right on the bottom of that sign that we're going to check out. It's right there at the bottom. It's kind of hard to see, but let's go ahead and hear from her to get her point of view about what's happening in Chicago with the migrants. Check it out.
You don't hang no signs about black people hating on immigrants, because black people ain't got no reason to hate on no immigrants.
Oh no, but the immigrants got
we
the reason to hate
everything
on
y'all
us.
are in there, son. Let me tell you something. You get them signs down. Anytime that Alderman Lawson and Silverstein and what's that other?
Cesar
can sit up
Lawfare.
here and talk
Lawfare.
about how they should get a hate crime bill because swastikas was in Ziploc bags in that community.
Now, if you didn't hear what she said that there are certain council members who are Jewish who said there should be a anti, how can I say it? It should be a hate crime bill to protect Jews, basically. And they said the reason why is because they had swastikas appear in the neighborhood in Ziploc bags. Okay, so that's the context here.
They hung this in our community. We want it off the poles. We want that to be the beginning of a hate crime. And that organization, which is a white liberal organization, like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man.
Yes.
And it is coming up in here acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that,
but all
sister.
along,
Say
all
that.
you're doing is trying to use black people
Say
to
that.
find a reason to make some money.
Say
Let
that.
me tell y'all something over there. We're done. The Democratic Party is done. You ain't gonna mess with us like
Y'all
this
gonna
no
abuse
more.
us.
I'm telling you what I'm
They
telling
get
you.
the
Now look. I understand what she's saying and I hear it 100%, but you got to have action that goes behind it, because I want the community in Chicago and around the world, but definitely in the country. I want us to hear what she's saying and take appropriate action, because we can hear what she's saying and then don't vote the right way. It'll all go in vain. So I'm just kind of amplifying her message to reach more people. That's all I'm doing. If I could reach a few people, then that's fine. It's better than zero.
abuse the black American.
Come in here and go clean it up. I'm telling you, the ones that have a righteous heart. You leave the Democratic Party. Do just like RFK Jr. Just do like that Tulsa lady. You better get up out the Democratic Party. Save yourself. Save your families. Save your dignity. Save your jobs. And save your seat. Because if y'all don't, we coming for your seats. We ain't taking this no more. We ain't taking no disrespect from a bunch of people who have broke into the country and now have completely broke the city, have completely broke the country, have completely disgraced the United States of America. America is a disgrace. And for us, oh my God, what a solution. You give us a fake, black, cackling hand of a candidate with a vice president that's talking about he want to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. Ain't nobody dealing with this. The number one function of a president is to be the commander-in-chief. You tell me anything about a Kamala Harris that look like she can protect this country after y'all have sat up here and let it get overridden with a bunch of illegal immigrants. Y'all have sat up here and put America's hands in all kind of wars. And you telling me a tampon man that ran from duty don't even know what his rule was. Kamala Harris, who don't know what race she is, gonna protect this country? The devil is a lie. Y'all better get them signs down. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, take the signs down. Take the signs down. And what she said was right on point. That the cackling lady don't know what race she is. And she made a very good point. The biggest point, there was a lot of points, but one of the biggest points was, do you think she could protect this country? Do you think she can protect this? She can't even go out there and do an interview by herself. How is she going to protect the country? I mean, seriously, regardless of what color, I don't care nothing about that. Just as a person, a human, if you are supposed to be a leader and you're the leader of the free world, but you can't do interviews alone, listen, you got to do stuff like this. Hold on. Did you guys see what she did? And I played the video, but I got to kind of show the picture to go with it. Hold on. Let me see if I have it. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, shout out to her. She was on fire out there in Chicago, Illinois. She was on fire. But I want people to really support her. I want them to back her seriously. And not just say, oh, you did good. Nah, like, let's support her for real. Let's really go out there and do the right thing, vote the right way. But look, hey, remember this whole thing here? Remember when Kamala had the headphones in the ear? So she was just going from point A to the vehicle, the black vehicle that she was in, pulled up right to the actual plane on the tarmac. I'm talking about the door open at the steps of the plane to go up into the fuselage, okay, into the cabin. Now, she had the headphones in her ear, wired headphones, so you knew that, oh, I'm on the phone. I can't take questions from my little 2-foot walk from the vehicle to the plane. But then she holds the phone to her ear. Why is the phone being held to your ear if you got headphones on? See, that's that goofy stuff I'm talking about. It's goofy. You're trying to actually signal that you don't want to answer questions because you're busy on the phone. Talking about what? Dinner tonight? Telling Doug Emhoff to stop kissing on Joe Biden's wife? Is that what you're discussing? But then you want to kind of like double it, make it a little bit more by holding the phone to your ear. If you have the what's that, the pods? I don't know. I don't use them. AirPods. If you got AirPods in your ear and the phone to your ear, goofy, goofball. That's Kamala. I mean, like, what are we even doing? Okay, now speaking about Kamala, we got a Bill Maher clip. I've not seen this one, but I'm interested to watch. All right, RIP to the headphone users.
Really want Trump to lose this election, right? No, you don't, really?
No,
Wouldn't
there is
it be
a theory
easier to get rid of him?
Look,
because if he lost another election, that would be 2018, 2020, 2022, 2024. I would think, and I've certainly been the last one to say Trump's over now. Lots of people do. I was like, no. But I think this would be it for him. I think he'd still be, he's not like Joe Biden. He's not going to go peacefully and out to pasture. But Republicans will have had enough of Trump, not of Trumpism, but of Trump. And you'd be done with all that chaos.
You can't be certain of that, Bill. The one thing that's certain, if he loses, Kamala Harris will be president of the United States. And I wholly oppose almost every single one of her positions. I think she's a vacuous opportunist. I totally reject the idea that in the space of 48 hours, she went from a subpar vice president, everyone recognized as such, all of a sudden to the second coming of Barack Obama. It is preposterous.
Exactly. 100% correct. And because y'all remember, they were trying to replace her. Earlier this year, they were trying to replace her, talking about we got to find a reason to get her out of the way. Why? If she's so good and she's like Barack Obama, why replace her? Y'all should be happy to have somebody like that who's the second coming of Barack Obama in line to take over for Joe Biden. If he just can't make it or whatever, you guys should be happy. They were trying to replace her, but they didn't. And they couldn't have replaced her. They put themselves in a situation because, listen, if they replaced Kamala earlier in the year for no real reason other than just we wanted to do it, then it looks terrible because why you got to take the black woman out? And they probably going to put a white guy in there. Why would you do that? That's going to be considered racist. And then in this case, when Joe Biden drops out, you have to let Kamala be the nominee. Although that's not a democratic process. That's not the way it should work. It should be, okay, we vote in the primary and then we vote for the president that we want. And then some tried to twist it and say, oh, well, you're voting for Kamala too. No, we're not. Because you don't elect the vice president, you elect the president, and the president selects the vice president, which is why during the primary for Trump, there was no revelation of the vice president. The vice president did not get revealed until Trump got the nomination at the RNC. You don't vote for the vice president, you vote for the president. So they just put her in there when the shit didn't happen, but normies are going to think that it makes sense. So there we are. If they didn't pick her, then it would have been a revote from the normies. That's what it would have been. Simple. People that don't know anything about anything, and when you ask them why you voting for Kamala because she's black, although she's not, that crowd would have been upset. So they couldn't do anything about it. The same reason why they had to get rid of Josh Shapiro as a VP pick or get him out of the consideration because he's Jewish. A lot of normies don't like Jews in the Democratic Party for some reason. A lot of Democratic Party people don't like Jews, put it to you that way. All right? Because of the whole Israel-Palestine kerfuffle. I'm not saying it's the majority, but it's enough people to make a difference to the point where he had to get a new VP. And the guy they got, Tim Walz, I mean, he ain't nothing but Britney Spears. Tim Walz is Britney Spears. I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Walz was a transgender or something like that behind closed doors. A little cross-dressing action going on. If you see a video of Tim Walz doing rah-rah, sis, boom, bye, and the Britney Spears 2002 outfit, don't be surprised. I promise. It's happening. It's going to come. If that happens, if I see that video on my timeline, I'll be like, yep, called it. There you go. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, going back to Chicago and the migrants. So we got Venezuelans in Chicago opening fire. Okay, opening fire.
Wow, mírala. Wow, por la 66. Allá. Home blog, mamá huevo, está por allá. Nosotros estamos por aquí. Oh, el malandrío.
So, we got Venezuelan gangs in Chicago, and they got weapons. You heard it fully automatic. You heard that. So they got weapons. The guys in Chicago, the regular gangs got weapons. It's going to be a clash. And the third world criminality is different. You know, you got guys that say, oh, we can run up on these Venezuelans and get them out of there. All right. Okay. I mean, don't take them lightly. Because they said, from what I was able to read, that Trinidad from Venezuela, it's MS-13 on steroids. And MS-13 has a bad reputation. Like, they're known for extreme violence. But these guys is different. So, hey, man. And it kind of goes back into the whole gun control argument. If these guys are in here illegally, illegal weapons, fully automatic, how are you going to tell me I can't have a gun to defend myself and my family from that? Make that make sense. Make it make sense. Let's say I live in this neighborhood. I'm just a regular person. I might just be poor, down on my luck. I'm living in a bad neighborhood every night. And I can't control myself because I'm a regular citizen and this gun laws is going to affect me. All I'm going to be out here is a target. Even if you don't go out at night, they're kicking your doors down. They're doing all that. They show a device they use in Aurora, Colorado, where they have to jam up their door in the front so it doesn't get kicked in by the gangs. It's like that out there. It's terrible. Yep. But hey, they know it's Venezuela. They can't stop it because they're wide open. They got the border open. So what are they going to do? What are they really going to do? The border's open. There's nothing they really can do. Okay. So here is the phone call from the dad of the Georgia shooter. Now, the Georgia shooter case is really kind of blowing up. People are saying a lot. Now, what I know is that the boy was being bullied for being gay. I'm not sure if he was gay or if he wasn't gay, but he probably is gay, but I don't know that for a fact. What I do know is that he was getting bullied for being gay. He had a really bad home life. And before I continue, don't think I'm giving excuses. Oh, no. I'm not giving excuses for what happened. I'm just giving the background so we understand why it happened. I still think that everyone who's in jail should be in jail. The dad should be locked up. The boy should be locked up. The mom, the dope fiend, whatever she did outside of this, she needs to be locked up too, if it makes sense. I'm not giving an excuse. I'm just saying this is what happened. Look, you got a boy raised in the worst kind of household ever. Your mom's a dope fiend, in and out of jail. Your dad probably the same way, probably drinking beer all day, alcoholic, beating on you. They both beating you. The mom and the dad beating on the son and the sibling. The mom is violent, getting into domestic violence, shooting fentanyl, all kind of stuff. Her most recent arrest, she got a domestic situation, and they found fentanyl in the vehicle. You got a really bad home life. The neighbor came out and said that whenever they moved in, it was problems. As soon as they moved in, the problem started immediately. And I've been there with neighbors like that, where every now and again, like on a random, every second Wednesday, they get into a fight. Husband beating the wife beating the husband. You want to get in the way and call yourself trying to save the woman, they will both gang up on you. I had a white neighbor like that. Black, white, whatever, same thing. I had black neighbors like that, white neighbors like that. You've had neighbors that do this. And you got to wonder, what's going on with the kids inside of this toxic household? How are they being raised up? Well, not too well, obviously. Not too well. And the craziest part, listen, the dad knows, okay, obviously you're in the house. You're in the house. Oh, man. Hold on. You're in the house, so you know what's going on with the boy as far as the abuse. You know what's happening as far as your abuse, dad. You know what's happening as far as the mom being a dope fiend in and out of jail and abusing the boy. You know what's happening. You know that your son is being abused, not abused, pardon me. He's being bullied at school for being gay, whatever the case may be. You know he's not doing the best in school, giving one-word answers. You had to transfer to a new school district to get a new start, I suppose. And the feds, the FBI came to your house and said, hey, yeah, we got some messages from a Discord server and it's linked back to your boy. You recognize that he could be a school shooter. You recognize that he has some issues. You recognize that he's being bullied. And what do? And all your infinite wisdom, dad, you give him a gun? After all of that? You're an idiot. But let me play this. We get a little bit more context.
Let me ask you this. Do you have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded.
Oh, yeah, nothing loaded. Idiot. They're telling you right there from the jump. Look, the feds are at your house. They got the uniform and everything. They're at your house. Hey, Mr. X, Y, and Z, I'm federal agent X, Y, and Z. Let us in. Your boy is sending messages on these apps talking about something you want to shoot up a school, a middle school. So are there any guns in the house? Are there any? When he says that, what is he saying? Keep the guns away from him. That's what they're saying. Oh, yeah, idiot.
But they are down.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to start from the top.
Let me ask you this.
I'm going to just let it play without interrupting.
Let me ask you this. Do you have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are down.
Okay.
We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so like I'm pretty much in shock, to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm a little pissed off, to be even really honest with you. So I'm a little taken back by the whole thing, but I can tell you this: I take that very serious, and so does he. As a matter of fact, like I don't know anything about him saying shit like that, and I'm gonna be mad as hell if he did. And then all the guns will go away, and they won't be accessible to him. You know, I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to teach him about firearms and safety and how to do it all, and get him interested in the outdoors. Mm-hmm. Like on my phone,
get him away from those video games.
Exactly right. That's the God honest truth. And the picture on my phone is him with blood on his cheeks from shooting his first deer. It was just the greatest day ever. Yeah, so sure. He knows the seriousness of weapons and what they can do and how to use them and not use them. So it's kind of a little bit of a shock. So in whatever y'all are telling him, please instill in him that if this is whatever or wherever this is coming from, it's no joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's no joke.
But we wouldn't be here if it was.
No, I know. And I'm telling you right now, we talk about it quite a bit. Okay. All the school shootings, things that happen.
Yeah,
scary. Hey, are you getting picked on at school? He is. He's getting picked on at school, and is everything okay? That's why I keep going up there. Yeah. You know, because you never really know, and I don't want anything to happen to him. So, yeah. Y'all
all right. Well, if you want to grab them,
yeah, y'all talk.
Or we can go in. It's
all cool. Hang on.
So there we go. I mean, that's that. Like, you're past the point of trying to fix them. If you're trying to like get him outdoors and do all these things, and you already past that point when you get the feds coming to your house saying, "Hey, man, yeah, he might be a school shooter. So what's up with them guns?" At that point, you need to just say, "All right, I need to keep him away from the guns." They're not trying to red flag you and take your guns away from you and violate your rights. They're saying to you as a father, "Hey, your 13-year-old has problems. You might want to keep the guns away from him." And he knows it right when they're telling them because, "Oh, yeah, but they're not loaded. He has access, but they're not loaded." And what do you do after that? After all of that, after the feds come into your house, after all of what you know, months later, the same year, because that was in, I think, May 23, Christmas, December 25th, Christmas Day, give him a rifle for Christmas, a rifle. "Hey, son, go ahead. Yeah, I know the feds came to their house, says you might be a school shooter, but I don't believe it. Here's a gun for you. Go ahead and have at it." An idiot. A complete idiot. I don't know what to say. Now, here's my question to you guys, because a lot of you guys were saying that the feds dropped the ball, but what could the feds have done beyond what they did? What could they have done? You want them to red flag them and take guns away? Now we're violating rights. There was no crime committed. There was an alleged threat, but they can't prove that the threat came from the boy. It was traced back to him, but it could have been a hack. It could have been anything. But it was enough of a concern from other research and investigation about him to go pay him a visit. So what do you do in that situation? Why didn't they surveillance him? What you want him to do? Like, have an agent that follows him to school? I don't really know. Like, what could the FBI have done? Y'all let me know. Because the only thing I can think of is red flag him. And now we're talking about violating rights. Gun confiscation. I'm not with that. What I would have told the father is keep the guns away from the boy. That's it. And if you want to go to the next step, we'll take the guns from the house. But now we're getting into a whole different category, a whole different thing. Let me see. Is he trans or gay? Who knows? I don't think he really knows what's going on. I think that he was expressing some concern about the acceptance of trans people on Discord, but I don't know if he identifies as transgender. But the father was saying that the son kept getting bullied for being gay, and the father said that he was dating the guy. Oh, look at, like, the father would say that the kids are saying, "Oh, look at Colt. He's gay. He's over there dating the guy." So from what I read, it looks like the father is confirming that he's gay, but the whole transgender thing, I don't know. All that I do know is that the whole trans issue was brought up yet again in the mass shooting, the same way it was in Covington. What was it? Was it Covington or the Covenant School? Pardon me, in Nashville, not Covington. The Covenant School in Nashville. Yes, when I say the same thing. Hey, at this point, I don't even know what's going on. All I know, you know what I could say is that I think we should reclassify these people as mentally ill, because ultimately that's what's going on. Listen, I don't think the boy is necessarily gay or trans. I mean, he might be, but I think all of that is just the result of his upbringing. I mean, what else are you going to do when you raise like a wolf? What else are you going to do? And then you go into class and ain't nobody else like that. Again, no excuses for what happened. I'm just saying this is a predictable outcome. You're raising these kids like wolves. You're not parenting them properly. You're just kind of out here doing everything. They're getting beat on from a young age, locked out of the house. The mom smokes fentanyl. What's going to be the result of that, man? you got to be really strong-willed and have people in your corner to not have that happen to you, to not go down that road when you come from that kind of environment. Yeah, wherever he's going, hey, somebody says it's going to be gay where he's going. Yeah. NERN says he will be gay where he's going. Oh, for sure. That long, pretty hair, yeah, he'll pretty much be a woman. Hey, if he's not a woman already, he will be when he goes to prison. I don't advocate no assault on men. I'm just saying, to anybody that wants to go to prison, to anybody that wants to do something that could result in prison, please believe you will be, if your name is Bernard, it'll be Betty when you go to prison. So my advice to everybody is, don't commit crime, stay out of the street, don't hurt people, keep your hands to yourself. And if you're a dad, how about not letting your mentally ill son, who the feds told you could be a school shooter, don't let him have access to a gun? Maybe. Now, if he is an adult and decides to do whatever, that's on him. I'm not, look, you're an adult, you out there on your own, that's your business. But 13 years old in the house, man, please. Please. All right, we have an ad from Team Trump featuring Cackling Kamala. I've not seen this. I want to check it out with you guys firsthand. And before I go to that, I just want to say rest in peace to all those who passed away in the Georgia shooting. And there's been quite a few school shootings and mass shootings and things of this nature. Resist the gun control argument. The gun control argument goes nowhere because, yes, there have been quite a bit of these publicized things, but their shootings happen all the time in this country. All the time, every day, and nobody really cares unless it's a school or something like this. People save lives every day in the USA with guns. They save lives of others and they save their own life. So don't talk about gun control. That ain't the solution to this. In Georgia, the solution would have been proper parenting. That could have avoided it. It makes no sense to enact a law to prevent something that could have been stopped with parenting. You can't legislate each piece of parenting, in my opinion. At a certain point, it's just common sense. But common sense ain't too common, I suppose. So here we go. Here's a new Trump ad featuring Kamala.
It is our undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
Police report as many as 75% of the people they've arrested in Midtown Manhattan for assault, robbery, and domestic violence are illegal migrants.
Police have tracked down a killer whose crimes span the country. Rachel Marin was dragged from a hiking trail in Maryland where she was raped and murdered.
Police say Brandon Ortiz Vite used a handgun he bought illegally to shoot Ruby Garcia multiple times on Friday.
The prime suspect charged in Laken Riley's murder was 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra. He illegally entered the United States back in 2022.
A Texas grand jury indicted Rafael Govea Romero. He's accused of attacking 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina by repeatedly hitting her head and stabbing her.
So let's get our notions together about what we're talking about.
So there's some text at the end that says Kamala Harris is weak. Kamala Harris has failed. Kamala Harris is dangerously liberal. Trump Vance 24 making her great again. Right on. So shout out to the Trump team. You guys have some great marketing. Great marketing. Great ad. That right there hit the target. And the migrant crisis is impacting us. It really is. Regular everyday people minding their business, going to Walmart, just, they're being impacted by it. They really are. So that was a great ad from Team Trump. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, here's Kamala talking about, not talking about anything. I'm not sure when this video is from. It might be an old video. I'm going to tell you something right now. A lot of times when you see videos on social media of Kamala speaking anywhere, a lot of it is old because she doesn't do much speaking. So you may see videos from her 21 or 2020 campaign run. now because that's pretty much all there is. She don't talk to the media. She only done one interview, like a sit-down interview, only done one of those. So there's not much to really pick from. This could be a new video or an old one, but they're talking about rights for Black Americans or laws for Black Americans. He's like, hey, pass some stuff for us specifically. Check it out.
And we're talking about specifically something that happened to Black people here in America. So we have to be specifically targeting to help those people, because we put those people in a position, and everybody knows the history. Yeah. Everybody understands the history of America. That's right. America, you did this to these people. You should write laws for these people. Don't group us in with everybody, because everybody, it didn't happen to everybody. But let's be fair. We playing from behind the 8 ball. We way back there.
Man, you know what? Stop with the barbershop stuff. It's so corny. It's corny, man. Like, I promise Black folks go to more places in the barbershop. Stop. Like, listen, okay, all right, Trump, and I know y'all did the barbershop thing, and that's fine. I understand you did that, but I don't want to see that no more. I don't want to see that no more. And then I'm never going to go into a barbershop and see the chairs lined up in a circle or arranged in a circle. I'm not going to see that ever. So no more barbershop talks. You could just rent out a regular place. Matter of fact, go to the high school gymnasiums that you normally go to, Kamala. Listen, a high school gymnasium or outside on the track will be just fine for your rally. The bleacher seats, you ain't got to all the way extend them. You could just have one side of the bleacher seats available, and then the other side put cameras on it. That'd be your ad right there.
400 years back there. We're not asking y'all to give us nothing. We actually write the law. Those of us who are willing and able to do the work, we'll do the work.
And look, the whole thing he's talking about saying we want laws written just for Black people. That ain't never going to happen, man. Ain't never going to happen because there's no incentive. And it's not a thing you can really enforce. It's just a pipe dream, man. And these same guys is just like this, funny suits and all this, funny, nice hairstyles, all, these guys are just kind of useless, man. They're kind of useless. They just ask questions that have no answer. It's never going to happen because you guys don't do anything to actually make them do anything. Okay, you have the anti-Asian hate bill because they actually brought something to the table. How about y'all? You're not even really bringing the vote to the table because a lot of us ain't even going out to vote. And then when we do vote, it's blind. It's never, ever anything that you can use as a bargaining chip. It's weird. There's no incentive. There's no bargaining chip. There's no nothing. They could just sit there and tell you anything and lie to you straight in your face, and you'll still go out there and vote for them. So they don't really care. They don't care. Now, here's Mark Cuban talking about Kamala being pro-business.
A lot of folks that come on our broadcast who are critical of the vice president and her campaign have suggested that she's a progressive and that she is going to operate very similarly to Biden, or in some cases, people have suggested she's going to operate even to more to the left of Biden as it relates to regulation, potentially taxes, other things related to business. On the other side, you hear, at least privately, from folks in and around the Biden campaign saying, no, we're really tacking to the middle. What do you think is really happening here?
Kamala Harris is pro-business. This is Kamala Harris's campaign. It's not Joe Biden's campaign, right? Kamala Harris is not Joe Biden. They're very, very different. She's trying to be, again, this is my perspective, she's trying to be very respectful of the president and everything he's proposed. She's trying not to directly contradict him in any way. So she talks a little bit around the subject when it comes to taxing in particular, but she's going center 100%. I mean, literally, if you read the transcript of her speech yesterday, she's talked more about entrepreneurs and helping them have access to investment and making it easier for people to invest in startups than any president that I've ever heard talk about startups and entrepreneurs.
So to the extent
literally, she listens, right? This is not something where it's just her policy team comes out and says, Mark, or whoever, let's hope this works. No, she's like, list me things you think we should be talking about. You're the entrepreneur. You invest in more startups than anybody I know. What do you think we should be doing, and what's going to increase the number of investments in startups? And I've had other conversations with their team where it's like, I literally go through and say, the higher the capital gains tax, the more difficult it is to invest in riskier investments.
Right.
And the people who have the hardest time getting risk capital are women, people of color, young kids that are coming out of colleges. Exactly. The people you want to take risk on, the higher the cap gains rate, the harder it is to invest in them for obvious reasons. And they understand that, and they've adapted as a result.
So do you guys agree with Mark Cuban? Do you think that Kamala is good for business? I don't understand Mark Cuban can get on TV and lie like that, man. Like, come on, man. You know how to get money out here. You know that Democrats are not good for business. Why get on TV and lie? I don't understand. Because it's like, who are you lying to? Who is a lie being told to? Maybe you're telling a lie for somebody. Maybe you're being requested to get on TV and just tell lies. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't really understand, because beyond that, I just don't quite get it. It's really a weird thing. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. I got to talk about Tenet Media. Now, Tenet Media, you guys may have seen them. Maybe you haven't. Tenet, Tenet Media. Tenet, whatever. Now, I'm going to show you what's going on. And I'm gonna just talk a little bit about this. I don't want to dunk on any of these people, but I got to talk about it. Okay. Now, shout out to Lauren Chen. I met Lauren Chen many years ago, and I've met her probably like 2 or 3 times since then. When I met her, she was roaming millennial. That was her name at first. The same kind of way Candace Owens was red pill black and all of that. I remember those days. So I met her back then. Very nice person, really respectful, always very kind, always nice to me, never had a problem. Tim Pool, of course, never had an issue with him. I don't know. I never met Tim Pool. I think I might have met Dave Rubin one time, but it wasn't like a real, it's kind of like an in passing, hello, how are you type of thing. But as far as I know, they cool. I mean, Dave Rubin, I'm not a fan of him buying a baby with his husband. I don't get down with that. I don't get down with the human trafficking part. So on that. But beyond that, Benny Johnson, let me just show the article right here. So what happened was, you see the headline, Russia secretly worms its way into America's conservative media. And a subhead, federal prosecutors say Russia paid an American media company to push pro-Kremlin messages from social media influencers, including Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, Lauren Chen, another guy we're going to see in a minute. They're saying that they all got paid by by the Russians, like $10 million to produce Tenet Media. All right. So look, Lauren Chen and her husband, Liam Donovan, founded Tenet Media in Tennessee in 2022. Russian money has accounted for most of the company's revenue in recent months. All right. So what they were doing is just like making videos with the Tenet Media branding and badging, I guess. I guess that's probably the best way to call it, branding and badging. They were producing videos like that. And in the case of Tim Pool, I think what he was doing was leasing his existing content to Tenet Media for a certain period of time or a certain number of episodes, whatever it was. So now they're saying, well, look, you guys were conned and you actually just got a bunch of Russian money. You thought it was something else. Nah, y'all just got money from people that work at RT, the Russian state media, and they paying you guys to say things on behalf of the Russian Federation. All right. Nah, not Millie Millennial, roaming millennial. Millie Millennial is somebody else. I know you're talking about. So yeah, that's one piece right there. So let's watch some of this. This is all right. Hold on. This is a clip from months ago. And Ashley St. Clair, I don't know who that is really. She said she believed the rhetoric to be boosted by foreign influences and money to cause division before the election. So that's what she's saying. I'm not really sure. This is on the Trigonometry podcast.
Was misogynist because he said there's 2 genders, right? But what I see on the right is actual genuine misogyny.
I don't know that that's organic, and I may be stepping into my own conspiracies here, but I don't think it's coincidental that right before the election, the right becomes the exact caricature of what the left had said the right was for years, and it wasn't. You know, many of us on the right knew that the right was not, you know, this anti-Semitic, misogynistic group of folks. And now,
who said that though? Who's saying that the right has become that anti-Semitic? Where is that anti-Semitic behavior coming from? It's coming from the left right now because we have the Gaza and Palestine and Israel protests. It's not us out there throwing stuff at police and beating up Jewish people. It's them. So I don't know who this is or what she's talking about, but I say put the crack pipe down. How about that? Matter of fact, I ain't gonna watch the rest of this because I don't like her already. I could tell I don't like her. But this person right here, this guy, Tyler Hansen, you guys may know who that is. Tyler Hansen. He, I guess, had made some content for Tenet. And what happened was YouTube deleted his channel. Oh yeah. They got his channel and they got Roman Millennial, Lauren Chen. They got her channel too. Why? Because they're saying that they are linked to this and they're getting money from the Russian Federation and they shouldn't be, I suppose. But Tim Pool is still kicking. But again, Tim Pool, all he did was lease his content to them, but it was already something he had going on. So it wasn't a thing that he did that was boosted by them. It was already happening. But in the case of Lauren Chen, her and her husband started a new company in 22 and they were funded by the Russian Federation. So I guess that's somehow wrong. But you could go pay for the Saudis. You could go play golf for the Saudis, and that's fine if you're Tiger Woods or Roy McIlroy or whoever wanted to go over there and play for Live. But let's watch this. Let's see what he says about his termination.
So, just permanently banned on YouTube. No explanation at all. Says I can never own a channel or operate a channel ever again. So that's lovely. Obviously admits the DOJ indictment of the alleged activities of Russian funding. Tenet Media was banned almost immediately. Lauren Chen was banned almost immediately. And now I was banned with no explanation, even though the indictment states, if these charges are true, these allegations are true, we're all victims, the people that were hosts there and me as a reporter there. So
it don't matter because the thing is, look, this is why I stay independent, because when you're not independent, you cannot control your own destiny. What's going to happen is that they're going to brand you guys as Russian assets. Although y'all got duped, it don't matter. Russian assets, you took money from the Russian Federation. It was like $10 million. And YouTube does not want to get caught up in the politics of trying to keep you guys on. So it's better for them to go ahead and just kick you off. Now, I'm not saying that's right. No, but that's the game that you're playing. That's the game. So if you want to avoid that, you need to just stay away from all these groups, because the groups can become infiltrated. And now whatever happens to the group can also happen to you. Okay. Tim Pool kept a level of distance between himself and the group. He just licensed them some existing content that he already had. It wasn't like he started something as a result of what they were doing. He didn't do what Lauren Chen did, which was start a new company from that money. That's why they got nuked, in my opinion. And this guy right here, I don't even know. It might just be a casualty.
it's interesting. It seems like the censorship czar is back out in full force. It's election season, baby. So yeah, ban with no explanation. I wonder if they're going to stop here, or are they just going to take it all the way? They're going to ban anyone that was ever affiliated with his brand, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me. But there you go. Permanently banned. You got to love it. I love America, y'all. Censorship is great. Keep it.
I mean, look, that's YouTube, man. Like, you got to understand the game. You really got to understand the game. And it's really crazy, but they don't want to get caught up in the politics. If you get yourself caught up with something crazy, you get put on an indictment. Look, if the DOJ is hitting you up, that's never a good sign. You never want a prosecutor or nothing like that on your back, because they can make your life a living hell. You don't want the prosecutors, the DOJ. You don't want to get involved with that kind of activity at all. You don't want that at all on your back. Now, speaking about DOJ, Louder Crowder, I'm giving you credit, sir. Hey, Stephen Crowder, if you're listening to me right now, I'm giving you your flowers. This is very good work, sir. So Stephen Crowder has kind of his own Project Veritas, James O'Keefe media thing going on, undercover videos. Okay, hot young girls talking to these politicos, getting real thirsty, and they spilling the beans. They spilling all the beans. You get the one guy from the DOJ, a spokesperson talking about, hey, you know what? The whole thing against Trump, the lawfare, it's inappropriate. It's a perversion of justice. So if your spokesperson is saying this, I'm going to tend to believe it. Now, I think I read somewhere that he has recanted this statement talking about, oh, no, I was just trying to impress her. No. What you're doing right now is being a good spokesperson, trying to save the brand. But you were saying the correct thing when you were on the candid camera about how all the lawfare against Trump is a perversion of justice. It shouldn't be happening. Alvin Bragg is ambitious, trying to stack charges. And I said that a while ago, before we get to the video. I said that a while ago about Fani Willis. However you say her name, Fani, Fanny, who cares? And by the way, Fani, listen to me now. You cannot leave that man alone. You can't leave that man alone. Fani, you said in court that you and Nathan Wade had broken up. You're not together anymore. But just last month, you and Nathan were on the side of the road helping your daughter when she got pulled over for driving with no license, or a suspended license, not no license, but suspended license. Now, Fani, you are the Fulton County DA, right? You have a lot of power. You make a lot of money. Why is your daughter pregnant, driving with no license? The ghetto is astounding here. But anyway, you show up with Big Nate, but in court you said you guys had broken up. Now, normally people's relationships don't matter to me at all, okay? If Fani and Big Nate were just normies out there dating, who cares? I don't care nothing about that. Y'all could do whatever you want to do. Okay, yeah, he's married. So what? That's not my business. That's between him and his wife, not me. But the problem is Fani was giving Nathan a bunch of money that he shouldn't have been receiving. He shouldn't have gotten that money. $700,000 he got from the Fulton County DA's office before the Trump trial even started. The trial, as far as I know, has not even begun. $700,000. You're married. You're fornicating with Fani. You're superior. She's giving you money. You're giving it back to her. Y'all going on vacations. Y'all going on cruises. You're flying all over the country. You're going to here. You're going to there. We see you around town. Come on, man. This is completely inappropriate. Again, if you're just a regular person out there on the street, whatever, that's between y'all. But now you're involved in taxpayer money. You're taking taxpayer money and you're just distributing it inappropriately. COVID money, giving it to this man. You're distributing it inappropriately. You're getting kickbacks from the whole situation. This is your lover. You guys were romantically linked before you appointed him. You can't do stuff like this. This is nepotism on fentanyl. This nepotism on whatever you can put to maximize it. That's what's happening right here. And it should be enough to get them locked up, in my humble opinion, because of the way that the money was distributed and whatnot. But anyway, I digress. The point is, we have people that are doing things they shouldn't be doing out there in public. They cannot, the battle for the flesh is killing them. They cannot stop dealing with the man they shouldn't be dealing with, who they said in court are not dealing with. And now that we can prove that that's false, now we're talking about perjury and other things you could be charged with. And in this case, this guy could not stop talking to the young lady about what he felt about Trump and the court case. Now, again, this is a DOJ spokesperson. You can see the date right there, 31st of July of this year. Check it out.
You're stacking charges and rearranging things just to make the case is nonsense. It's a perversion of justice.
I think the case is nonsense. It's a perversion of justice. Alvin Bragg is just stacking things. Oh, and also about Alvin Bragg and Fani, all the rest of them. They're ambitious. They want to be able to rise to higher heights. I called it from the jump. I figured Fani Willis might want to be the governor one day. She might want to be the president one day, which never happened. Yeah, that'll never happen. But she's ambitious. Same thing, Stacey Abrams. Okay, thinking that somehow she deserves to be the governor of Georgia. When in reality, when she ran against Brian Kemp, she got stomped into wine. It was a decisive victory. Even a lot of the black folks in Georgia did not like Stacey Abrams. Okay, how are you going to run an anti-gun campaign in Georgia where everybody has guns? Everybody has guns, black, white, whatever. How are you going to run an anti-gun campaign in Georgia? It didn't fly. It didn't fly. She's not visually appealing. She has bad policies. What do you have aside from being black? Nothing. Nothing. Same thing, Fonnie Willis. You're ambitious, but you don't have the real skill to ascend. You're trying to scam and manipulate your way through the whole situation. And that ain't the way to go. Alvin Bragg, same thing. You're stacking charge. You're trying to make the case be something. Making a name for yourself. But ultimately, the sentencing for this case, the hush money case that Alvin Bragg was, in charge of, I suppose, that case has now been delayed until after the election for sentencing. And as far as I know, and if I'm wrong, let me know, once Trump becomes the president again, it's over. Once he becomes a president, all these court cases, poof. Because what was the point of the court cases? The point of the court cases was to deter the general public. Oh, Trump going to get locked up, can't vote for him. It was to deter the general public from voting for Donald Trump. And also, if they were able to get him in the penitentiary, that would have been great for them, at least optics wise, as a deterrent as well. But they can't. They can't get him in the penitentiary. They can't make anything stick. What they were trying to do has backfired because now we're more behind him. They tried to delete him. Guy intervened. The bullet was right here. It went like that a little bit, just a little bit. You see, you didn't even catch that. Look, it was right there and then like that. Boom. That right there was enough to keep the bullet from hitting them right in the dome. Guy intervened. We can't defeat this man. What are we going to do? Give up at this point. You got Kamala in there. It's going to be embarrassing. I almost feel bad for Kamala. Because she's going to get stumped into the finest of wine. Irish River Dance all on the debate stage coming up on Tuesday. Oh my goodness. Man, the debate, listen, get your popcorn ready for the debate. Get the popcorn ready. It's going to be a mess. But I'm going to play a little bit more of this. Let me get to the calls.
To make him a convict, a convicted felon. It affects his candidacy if he's a convicted felon.
It's a travesty of justice, a mockery of justice.
Let me be clear about...
All right, Crowder, shout out to you for this, but I'm going to go ahead and just move ahead a little bit. I'm going to skip past you now, but shout out to you, though. All right, well, let me do it. It sure won't. Shout out to Twitter's video player. Let me try to just get a little refresh right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video.
Nicholas?
It's a perversion of justice. He was stacking charges and rearranging things just to make it fit a case. No, to be honest with you, I think the case is nonsense.
State levels are Wild West. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. So yeah, this guy's probably going to try to lock him up, and it's going to be ugly. They're so obsessed with getting here.
Who is they?
So this is, again, the DOJ spokesperson out there in New York, SDNY. I believe that's Alvin Bragg's district or his neck of the woods. He knows Alvin Bragg for the past 15 years as a colleague, and he's saying that all this stuff is bogus. It's just Bragg trying to become somebody more than what he is.
Who I've known for 15 years. He used to work in my office. Before he decided to prosecute Trump, did you know who he was? You do now. I'm not sure what he wants to be, but I know he's not happy just being the DA of New York County. So Alvin's very ambitious. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charged with this.
This right here, like somebody just said it, Samuel says he's just being honest. He's being 100% honest. Yeah, but everybody knows this. We all know this. And then when we say this, you got the mainstream media trying to debunk us, talking about, oh, that's a right-wing conspiracy theory, all kind of gaslighting things to try to do to us. But we know the truth. That's why the mainstream media, we pay that zero attention. At this point, I look at the mainstream media the same way I look at like a National Enquirer, like something like this. You be in a grocery store, and they still have those in a little aisle, the checkout aisle. I look at that the same way as a National Enquirer. Okay, Elvis spotted in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just finish checking out right now. I'm not gonna read that. It's the same way with the mainstream media. All these papers, it's very hard to find the truth. And sometimes what they'll do, they'll kind of, when they write an article, they'll code the truth in there. They'll code it. You got to try to like decipher it.
It's all him.
All right, I ain't gonna play the whole thing here, but you get the idea. My man is saying, hey, this is my colleague, known him for a long time. I'm in the DOJ, I'm a spokesperson, and I'm telling you, he's just stacking charges, trying to make a case when there is no case because he wants to be something else. More than just the DA out there in that particular area. That's all that it is. Okay, these people are ridiculous. But yeah, shout out to all the cases not going anywhere and just coming to a screeching halt here pretty soon. All right. So we got some super chats on deck. I'm going to get to those right quick. And then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number will always be in the description. Also, right here in the ticker below me, it'll pop up at a certain point. You'll see it right there. But there it is, right on time. 434-658-1220. But for now, I'm going to read the super chats. Then we're going to get to the calls. There's also an email for Skype. You can be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. All right, so let's go ahead and go to where we got to go. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, the only people coming up are the illegals with the business startup money from taxpayers. That's right, exactly. And the crazy part about the illegal aliens getting all that money, they get all the money from taxpayers, but they already had money when they got here. That's a misconception about the migrants, that they're just so poor and they don't have anything. Nah, a lot of times they're kind of like middle-class people, and they want to come here to get more money. And they figure, if I can just go this way, I can get in without having to go through the process, and I could pay less money overall. I'm good. I'll just do that. They don't really care about doing things the right way or following our laws. Well, actually, they do follow our laws. If they are able to come to the border and they're allowed in, then what does that say? The law says that it's okay to come on in illegally or without having to go through the proper documentation, proper steps. They're being told that there's no more immigration process. Come on across. And yes, Bobcat MIT, the debate will be streamed on Tuesday, of course. Of course. Y'all know I'm going to be here on Tuesday for the debate. I would not leave you hanging. But Ron Henderson also says, put Kamala and bleacher seats on the visitor side. Thank you to TZ Burton, who says, Elton John performed at Rush Limbaugh's wedding in 2010. They were friendly toward each other. Well, I didn't know that. Shout out to Elton John and Rush, RIP to Rush. That kind of Michael Critchlow says, can you show the photo of Winsome Sears holding an AK-47? It was reported that she's running for governor of Virginia in 2025. You think she can win? She can win if she gets support. Virginia is funny. We don't really have a lot of black governors. There's only one black governor ever in Virginia, and that was Douglas Wilder, a Democrat. There's only one. So, I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. Virginia's weird, especially since you have Northern Virginia being its own little thing. I don't know. We'll see. I hope that she succeeds, but I don't know. I think she is the current lieutenant governor, right? Hold on. VA. Yeah, that's her. So she's currently the lieutenant governor. So she has a chance, but Virginia can be unpredictable. So that's her right there, Winsome Sears. All right. And I think she's from Jamaica originally or somewhere like this. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. That's definitely a Jamaican name, Winsome. Yeah, Jamaica. Uh-huh. But she grew up in my neck of the woods, if I'm not mistaken. She went to No. So she is from Kingston, originally born in Kingston, and then she came to the U.S. at 6 years old, and she grew up in the Bronx. But she went to TCC, ODU, almost to the same colleges. Okay, so shout out to her. I don't know what time she went to I don't know when she came to Virginia, but at a certain point, she made her way there. All right. But yeah, shout out to Winsome Sears. Let's keep on going here. Where are we at? Shout out to Caius Posthumous, who says, ABL, but how do you wake up the black community? I mean, I don't think about the community. I don't try to wake up the community. All I try to do is just spread my message, and hopefully people are able to hear it. If I can just help one person, 2 people, 3 people, then that's fine. I would like to help more, but I know I have realistic expectations. I know I can't help everybody. I know that I cannot help everyone, so I keep realistic expectations. Caius also says, how do you think he got the gun on campus? I don't, that's a good question. They could have said, bro, who says the father should get more time than the son. The son definitely needs mental health treatment. I do not condone what the son did, but he was set up for failure based on his home life. 100% correct. Absolutely. That gets Laura Catherine who says, get rough out here, ABL. Yeah, it is. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says the father is as much to blame as the alphabet kid. Yeah, I think you are correct. All right, did I get everybody? I think I did everybody. Shout out to you guys for being here yet again. I appreciate y'all. Let's get to the calls. Again, the number to call, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the box, also in the ticker. And there's an email for Skype in the description. You can be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, talking about things that are kind of on point with tonight's topic. Not nothing crazy. Don't call up here acting the fool, because I will call the feds. And they will knock. Hold on. But yeah, shout out to Winsome Sears. Hopefully she does well. One thing about Virginia, you cannot run back-to-back gubernatorial campaigns. So that's why every year it'd be a new person running. You cannot run back-to-back campaigns. You could be the governor again, but you got to wait at least one term because you can't run back-to-back campaigns. Fun fact about VA. Let's go to the calls here. Let me get my sound together first. That could help. And we'll keep on rocking. All right, that didn't do it. Let's try this. All right, there we go. Let's go to 941. You're the line speaker to.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to call into the show.
You're live on the air right now. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to say I love the show, and thank you for being on there. And while I have a little bit of an audience, I'd like to remind everybody we can say Trump 2024 all we want, and it's cute, and it's nice, and I love to see it in my comments. Well, we must get out and vote.
Right on. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. I definitely got out there and vote. Vote. Don't think it's just going to be, vote. Go ahead.
Yeah, but we got to get it too big to rig. Okay, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Love your show.
All right, shout out to the caller. That's a great message. Get out there and vote. 810, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, thanks. This is Colleen.
All righty, what's going on?
Thanks. Well, I wanted to talk about the migrant crisis. There was just a video out a few hours ago, and it was a young woman, and she's in Chicago. She happened to be a young black woman, and she was in her car literally crying. She's like, the Venezuelans are literally trying to push us out. She said these jobs that they so-called, black jobs, these aren't black jobs. These are regular jobs that they're taking. She said, even Uber. She said, I'm telling you, she said, you try to call somebody, they're all Venezuelans. She's like, they're taking over everything. And she's like, I'm really, really scared. And the government is even doing that. The government's now blaming black people, saying that, you just don't like the immigrant people. No, they're not immigrants. First of all, they're illegal. And I wish more people could see this, but it seems like all the people voting for Kamala, no matter what color they are, they'll tell you, oh, you just don't like immigrants. You're just scared of them. No, we're scared of what's going to happen to America. Not all of us, but, many of us. And I also wanted to say about the school shooter. Have you heard, ABL, that the morning of the school shooting before it happened, there was a warning call. Someone called and said, we're going to shoot up like 5 schools, and you're going to be the first one. And that was in the morning. I don't know if anyone heard that. I'm trying to find the information on it. But if anyone else did, I would like to get a little bit more information and see why they didn't react anymore. But thank you for your show. It's really important. You do a great job.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
Great call. Now, I've not heard that about there being a warning call before the shooting happened. I've not heard that, but I wouldn't doubt it. Really, I wouldn't doubt it. Because, I mean, all the red flags were there. It was pretty much like, hey, I'm going to go do this. You got to stop me. That's pretty much what it was. 414 line, what's speaking to?
Hello, how you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I'd just like to give a shout out to you and your show. I've been following it for a few years now. And I'd like to give a shout out to Corn Pop, how we got to the bottom of that when you said that he was walking down the cereal aisle and he looked at that box of Corn Pops, and that's where it came up from. I still think it's funny.
It is funny.
All right, man. You have yourself a good night.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Good night.
All right. Shout out to legendary Corn Pop. Yeah, shout out to Corn Pop. He was a bad dude. He really was. Who am I speaking to? 707, you on the line.
Hey, ABL. What a good show, as always. Hi, I'm Margie, and I want to say about the migrant crisis. Those guys are really the new Venezuelan guys. They're really super, super, super criminal, and they give zero things that people give lots of things about. And they'll just mow you down. They're showing it, and I really am concerned about trying to turn those dudes back, because they're not going to go out gentle, with the rapid fire and everything else. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting situation. And I feel, though, if Kamala still, manages to somehow win, that it's going to be really, really bad. But I think it'll get worse before it breaks out further in the streets. But I think if Trump gets in, they're going to push their luck fast. So I think we'll have a faster tete-a-tete with these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I think when Trump gets in, we're going to cut off the supply of all their weaponry and reinforcements, because that's what's going on. These guys have guns, ammunition, and they keep getting more and more and more of their gang members to come join them in America. So if we cut that off, we can have a fighting chance. But if we keep just letting that continue, we'll be completely overrun in certain parts of our country.
Yeah, and I kind of fear that we're almost at that tipping point right now, because I follow the news all over the country, but in my hometown too, people are hurting for food and stuff, and they're pitching all these stories about food banks not having the food. And one of my girlfriends really does need to be getting it, and she said there was no bread, no eggs, no just about anything, a few vegetables, and they'd seen some better days. But, so I'm saying we should all be grateful for one another and try to be kind and, keep our heads down and, go about our lives. Not be afraid, but, just live it.
That's right. Absolutely.
Until you don't. So that's about it, except you're doing a wonderful job as always. And I love listening to your show. You really do help me find sanity in this life, because I live in California. There are so many lunatics. I already know I can't say anything. So, and I'm a Democrat. I mean, I was until they kind of went someplace. But anyway, you have a great evening, and I thank you for your gift of these shows. You take care.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
Yeah, great call. And, you live in California, you're a Democrat, but it's like, what am I to do when people just go crazy around me? it's like a zombie apocalypse breaks out, and I'm a Democrat, so I have to be a zombie too. No, thank you. I don't really like, being a zombie. That's not really my thing. I like to be among the living. So now I'm kind of homeless politically. Let me just go over here and find some shelter where it makes sense. That's kind of what's going on with a lot of people nowadays. And the phone lines are blowing up. Y'all please be patient with me. Let's go to 276. You're on the line. What speaker to?
JBL or ABL. I'm sorry. This is Expose the Truth again. We talked last week, I do believe. I always love your content. Always love your show. Always great response to the responders, to all the people that call. Love your content. But one thing I didn't say last week when we talked, because there was a totally different scenario, was about the debate with Sean Hannity. I want to say something tonight, and a lot of people don't know this about me, but I was in one of the first high school shootings also, back in 1998. Anybody can look it up. Penn Park High School. It was crazy. And every time I hear this, it's like a re-trigger of thoughts that have gone through my mind through all the years. Nobody has to live this every time they hear another school shooting. But the thing I want to sit there and put out, you can move forward. Don't let that get behind you, because we are all suicide survivors or school survivors or anything. You got to go to what you know and always keep moving forward. You don't have to be like that. I didn't grow up in a very good home neither. I was raised by my great-grandparents, was taken away at a young age, and grew up in foster homes. I made a good life for myself, and now I'm taking care of my disabled mother right now. But what I'm trying to say is, I went through that for a school shooting, and that could have been very well prevented if the parents would have stepped in and took care of that.
Right on.
And one of my biggest things is when it comes to school shootings, when they say that it sounds like firecrackers, that's exactly what it sounds like. A lot of people don't understand that concept. It's like a re-trigger. Every time you hear a school shooting, you flash back to go back to that, and you know exactly what that sound is. It's hard to explain, but it could have been prevented if the parents would have stepped in. One of the biggest things that they didn't know is one of the boys' parents, the father, was a police officer. And it was his guns that they took from his gun cabinet and brought to our school that day. My principal, Mr. Allen, was shot and killed that day. He was in a coma, excuse my language. He didn't die that day, but it was hard. And oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I feel so sorry for the families and everybody that goes through this, because you'll never forget as long as you live. And I just want to say thank you for your content, and God bless the United States, and go Trump 2024.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, I know that's got to be rough. So shout out to him. He said he was in one of the first school shootings, like 98. Yeah, that's got to be rough to go through. So shout out to him, and hopefully you're doing well. Let's go to 859. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. I want to take the phone call real quick. He finally answered. Yeah, sorry. The whole restaurant's like listening to the podcast. Well, your Luciferian Libertarian friend. How's it going, ABL? Thank you for taking my phone call, sir.
It's all good, man. What's happening with you?
All right. I was listening about the whole over in Alabama. I think Georgia. Is it Georgia or Alabama?
Georgia.
I was listening to that, and it's you're right. A lot of the issues are like a lot of mental health issues. It seems kind of strange when you see the movie The Joker, right? When that movie came out, a lot of mainstream media was bashing it, calling it an incel, like wet dream and stuff like that. But it showed a light of what's the real issue in society. A lot of our mental health is going downhill. And like I said, I told that quote about Friedrich Nietzsche of society and without no morals. That's the prime example of what he was talking about. And it's kind of sad that we're more worried about, this corporate greed, Ukraine, and all this other stuff and selfishness, but we care less about the mental health in society and also our physical health. I was talking to a friend who was dealing with major health issues and pain, and he couldn't get his opioids because of a lot of the red flags of government.
Right.
And then would you kind of agree that, weirdly enough, that in society we care less about the mental health in society and more about all this other stuff? People are too quick to blame the guns. They're too busy blaming the video games, and people are too quick to blame movies and music. It's like the PMRC all over again, blaming music, how the liberals are blaming guns. And oddly enough, the funny thing is, when their states are trying to put extreme gun laws onto the books, regardless of Virginia, any state, it seems kind of strange. There's always the two types who always, protest and vehemently protest. It's usually the Marxists and the rednecks, the gun nuts, and the people who want the revolutions. It seems like the anti-authoritarian people politically are pro-gun. I mean, am I wrong or am I right?
So you said the what now are pro-gun?
Usually the law of the Marxist and a lot of the right wing and the pro-gun left wing, the people who are the anti-authoritarian politically types, who are very much politically pro-gun, but the very authoritarian politics are very anti-gun, like the Nazis, like the monarchy in England when they were going against our founding fathers, how we supported the Second Amendment rights. And I think it's ridiculous that we do not remember and realize that in history we have these problems, and we're doomed to repeat it all the time.
Right on.
Would you exactly agree? I mean, what's your opinion on the subject? I mean, do you look through history and you understand if we're repeating the same bad behavior?
Yeah, I mean, when you keep doing the same things, you're going to get the same results. And people just act like, oh, the results, it'll be different this time. You're going to do better this time. That's not really how it works. A lot of times you're going to just get the same thing that you got before.
Yeah, all these people who are anti-gun, I don't think they really care too much about life. So, I mean, they're talking about the politicians and stuff like that. Because right now, like diabetes and, McDonald's is still around, and that causes more deaths. And even the cars we drive causes more deaths than firearms and shootings. And you're absolutely right. I lived in very bad neighborhoods that I've seen horrible stuff and extreme stuff. And all those weapons or firearms that has happened locally, we hear locally on the news, it never goes internationally. It's always a gun that was stolen, illegally purchased, and it doesn't matter about the gun laws. They're still going to get those weapons regardless.
Yeah, the gun laws are ridiculous. The weapons are out there. We need to have our guns and have our rights to the guns that are in the Constitution so we can just, live better and not be under the authoritarian rule. Because when they get the guns away, then they could just do whatever they want because there's no fight from the people. There's no resistance from the people. They just do whatever you say.
Okay, sorry, I was telling one of my friends, it's the radio show. But hey, I really appreciate you, ABL, for taking my phone call. Luciferian Libertarian, I'm always happy to call you. I'm, listen to a lot of your stuff. So, thank you very much. Taking my phone call, man. Also, you got to do a video of exercise, diet sometimes, Uncle ABL. I understand you're a busy man, and I completely understand that, sir.
I got you, man, for sure. I do got you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the call.
Talk to you later.
All right. Yeah, I will do a video like that about how to eat and everything. Yeah, I got it down to a science. If anybody wants to lose weight, and I'm being so serious, if anybody wanted to lose weight, aside from an actual doctor medical condition, I can tell you how to lose weight. It's real simple. You could just, if somebody was struggling with their weight and they're just a regular normie, they don't have a disease or you're just a regular person, you're struggling with your weight, all you gotta do is tell me what you eat every day and just be honest. And I'll tell you how to change it to achieve your goal. It's real easy. Did you guys see Nikocado Avocado? Did you guys see him? Nikocado Avocado. You know what that is? The big YouTuber, literally a real big YouTuber who got back down to his normal size. This guy looked like he was a sumo wrestler doing the mukbangs, eating the food, and then he got down to a skinny size the way it used to be. I can tell you how to do that naturally without using drugs, because when y'all use stuff like Ozempic, that ain't nothing but the same thing I'm going to tell you. That's just somebody with no discipline. That's all that is. If you use Ozempic just to lose weight, you have no discipline. And all you're going to do is ruin a lot of your vital organs in the process and not having no discipline. So if the decision is between having discipline and not ruining your vital organs with drugs, and not having discipline and ruining vital organs with drugs, the choice is pretty clear, but I digress. 954 to the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, how are you doing? You're speaking to Carla.
All righty, what's going on?
All right, so I got a couple points. Had to write them down, make sure I stick to the points. First point is Kamala, or Kamala, I think that's how they say her name. She is definitely not black or not even Jamaican, because if she was Jamaican, her name would have been Kamala, not Kamala, whatever they're saying. So that always confuses me. So she's definitely not of the culture of black people nor Jamaicans. And then my second point is the school shooting. I'm going to say that the community has failed these people that come from these households that shoot up, or these weird dysfunctional families. It's the community that's failing them. Everybody wants to blame the father, the mother, whatever's going on at every single one of these cases. That is not the case. We are a village. We need to pretend and be and act like a village, like we care about other people, because the community has failed these households again. We have safety nets. I have a million questions as to what happened here. I work in human services. What happened here? It doesn't make sense. At this point, conspiracy, this is on purpose at this point. This doesn't make sense. And I also want to say thank you, ABL, for being a vocal black conservative. I'm an in the closet one because, I'm here in Florida.
Right.
Surrounded by blue. I kind of have a story like, I forget her name. The other female black conservative woman, I forget her name. I'm kind of like her. So I was a Democrat coming up, and now I'm like, the brainwashing has got to stop. This is not common sense anymore. So that's all I have to say. And thank you for being the voice of people like me.
You're welcome. And thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to her. Yeah. I try to be the voice of the voiceless. I try to be here for y'all and I always just lean on being 100% honest, truthful, and straightforward. That's my thing. So I can be a good voice for you guys and a good voice for myself. So shout out to you. I appreciate you for that call. It means a lot to me. 559, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Good, man. Hey, I just wanted to call in real quick for a few points pertaining to the Georgia shooter. I agree with you 100%, as well as my family members. I mean, come on, man. How much would it take for the state to put in their budget to put in those metal detectors that we've been wanting so badly within our school systems for years? I mean, if we could just equip the resource officers with what they need, I mean, I think the majority of these school shootings would be prevented. A lot of people are complaining that it's the guns. It's not. It's common sense, and it's the evil that we have in this country with people who are activists and radicals that act upon their emotions and mental illness. I mean, you could write however many laws you want in the books, but crazy's still gonna find a way. It doesn't matter, what happens with whatever laws that people decide to try and pass anywhere. And so I think that, if we could just have more of a fixed presence at schools to where it's more, not like lockdown to where it's communistic or any sort of dystopian like future where the school seems like it's some sort of like, extreme like prison or something, but just something that would be more secure for our students that could then let them know that, hey, we got their back. There's going to be no way that somebody's going to be able to bring a gun in this school, and there won't be, I can't say there won't be, but it will be a huge reduction in school shootings overall in the country just by acting upon like these little things that could make a huge difference. So anyway, ABL, thanks so much for taking my call. I appreciate it as always. You have a great weekend, sir.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. Right. Great call. Like, yeah, the security of the school, that's got to be a thing. Like, let's have the cop car out in front the whole time. Let's have the entrances secured, because again, the question has not been answered. Maybe somebody knows the answer. Maybe I've missed it in my reading. But how did the rifle get inside the school? I don't think you had that in your book bag, did you? How did you get a rifle in the school? Did you go outside and get let back in? How did that happen without anybody seeing you? I don't understand. 310, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
This is Ryan from Georgia. Hi, ABL. How you doing, sir?
Oh, well, man. How about yourself?
Real good, real good. Missed you last week, man. We got worried about you, my wife and I. But yeah, man, it was just a crazy week we had this week with everything going on, especially out here in Georgia. We talking about. I was listening to one lady talking about it takes a village. I'm sorry, it takes parents, and parents need to be parents. Too many times, as I see it, that parents are trying to be friends, with their kids and everything like that. And I'm sorry, we can be cordial. We could be, I'm trying to teach my children. I did, all 5 of them, how to be productive citizens in these United States of America. And I tell them the difference between right and wrong, and what would happen if they do wrong. And like I said, I tell them all the time, they said, there's no free pass in America, not in my house or anywhere else. I said, things cost. And when I see what's going on with the illegals and everything like that, it's a shame because they're getting a free pass. These people are getting a free pass on my dime, on your dime, on all of our dimes and dollars that's being squandered right now in these United States. So it's so sad to see that we have American citizens who are homeless, American veterans who are homeless, who need shelter, don't have it. And yet these people who violated our laws coming to our country, raising havoc in our country, and yet we're blessing them with our finances and get nothing out of it. I'm sorry, it should not be, it need not be. And not only that, is that when we have our elected officials on the other side, the Democrat Party side, who do not want to go ahead and stop illegals from voting in these United States, where the American citizens should be able to dictate or gravitate which way this country should go. And yet these guys are talking about they don't want to go ahead and have no IDs, don't want to prove for citizenship and everything. This is crazy. And it need to be stopped. It need to be stopped ASAP. And I'm sorry, it's crazy what's going on out here and what we see. And people are up in their arms. Like I said, I feel for that lady in Chicago. She's hitting it right on the head. The blacks are being villainized for not being so welcoming. Look, I welcome everybody. Everybody can come in. You can't just come into my house without knocking on my door and asking permission to come in, sit down, drink my beer, and ask me for my Kaiser card. Hello, that don't work. I'm sorry. There's no free pass here. You got to ask permission. Same thing for our country. You don't see Obama going ahead and open up his doors and letting the illegals in. They didn't do that at Martha Vineyards. I don't see putting up no posts and signs talking about you're not being very friendly here in Martha Vineyards when you go ahead and 2 days got them shipped out and on the boat. Come on now. But in the black neighborhoods, here all is welcome. I'm sorry, we got problems. They have problems. I'm not gonna say we because I ain't in part of that. I'm not part of that we, right? Got delivered, got away. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm trying to teach my kids and my young adults how to be productive citizens, not a scourge on America. And I'm sorry, but you know what? We just need to continue to pray for our nation. Please pray. I'm on my knees every day. I'm praying for you and all those like you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, fortunately, our country needs prayer. And the only way we're going to get it, man, is through neology. And you know what? It's going to happen. You know, people like myself, I'm telling you, people, all the beloveds out there in ABL land, come on now, we come together and we just pray and said, if my people who are called by my name will pray, I will hear and heal your land. We need a healing in this land. And these people are hurting. That young man is hurting. It's a damn shame that he don't know that he's a young man, not a young sissy man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just need to be, you know, serious on this here thing. You know, we need to be serious. And I was hearing somebody talking about this man is racist. I'm sorry, there's not a racist bone in my body. My son-in-law is white. Hello, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we don't play that. It's what we do by the conscience of the character of the person. And if the person is a weenie, then that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? And be addressed as such. But you know, I just love this country, and I love the people who stand up for the country, who stand up for the right. And we, as American citizens of America, we stand up for what is right. And unfortunately, we got people out there who are looking for the demise of our nation. And I ain't one of them, and I ain't going for it. So that's all I got to say, myself, beloved. You know, I just say thank God for you, ABL, and all the beloveds out there. Come on, we can make this here happen. Trump 24. Hello, it's gonna go happen. It's gonna happen. So I can't wait for the debate. Get stomped into wine, stomp her into wine. That's what's gonna happen. We need some grape juice out there. So, all right then, bro. You just take care of yourself, man. I appreciate you. Okay.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right then, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right, great call. Fantastic call. And then shout out to the dog at the end. It was like, hey, I got to go ahead and close it out too. So shout out to the dog in the background. And that was a fantastic call. Shout out to you. All right. And sorry for not being here last week. I ain't going to do that too much no more. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go. Where are we going here? Let's go to 715 on line speaker 2.
Hi there. My name is Harley, and I'm in Wisconsin.
All righty. What's going on?
Okay, so yeah, I'd like to call kind of focusing on the Georgia shooting. And I think one of our biggest problems is the obvious. We have another, it appears to be trans or gay student that had a mental breakdown and just wanted to kill other people who pissed him off. Okay, well, we have GSAs in our schools still. We have after-school clubs where students are openly talking about their sexuality, about being trans and gay. And then we have SEL, social emotional learning in schools as well. Another issue, I believe. And the schools are catering to their demands or their requests of talking about, I want to be trans. Right now, I have a daughter in middle school that knows 3 trans women that think they're boys now. 3.
Wait. So are we talking about students or teachers?
Students.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 3 that I know of that go by a different name, different pronoun. And how many more are there? And I'm in a small town, about 10,000 people. And how many more trans students do we have? I mean, this is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And when we're talking about security for the schools, a great point. You know, like we have 1 resource officer out of all of our schools here in my town. 1 that has to go to every school. We have 7 police officers of this town? I mean, my town's next for a school shooting. That's what I believe, especially with how many trans students that I personally know of. So if more people could just rally up to go to school board meetings and complain about what are we doing with GSA, SEL, and let's get more security, we might be more on a right track. And, by the way, Title IX. What? You know what Title IX was going to do? Normalize even more about trans students. I went to school board meetings with many people and pushed back against Title IX in my local county. And we successfully won with my county pushing back on Title IX of not wanting it. We got every school board in my county to table it, by the way. Tabling, they just push it off to whatever, meaning it's not like banned, but it's just, at least they're not pushing it. But it's, you know, that's the best we got out of it, to be honest. So we got Title IX is a problem. We got GSA is a problem. We got SEL, that's a problem. We got lack of school resource officers, that's another problem. And I know 3 trans students as we speak in my middle school. Probably more.
Unreal.
So I don't know what we do. I mean, I kind of know what we do, but at the same time, it's like, what do we do? And that's kind of all I got to say. Hope everyone's talking to their kids out there that's listening. I didn't even know that my daughter had friends that were trans until I met the friends and asked them, or asked my daughter like privately later on, like, are you sure that's a boy? It looks like a girl. And then I found out. So my daughter doesn't even want to tell me that there's trans friends. You have to find out. You have to parent. You have to be more involved.
Right.
And I had a long discussion with her, and we're real close to putting her into online schooling. Real close. We've already submitted the applications. We're already exploring it. Not saying that's the answer, but we're trying to figure something out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, you got to do something. And like you said, you got to talk to your kids because they may not want to tell you what's going on, or they may not be able to express what's happening, or they may think it's normal. Like it's not really a big deal to have transgender students in your classroom, although it is.
Yep. And she says, they're so cool, you know? And I'm like, no, it's not normal that they go by a different name or a pronoun.
Right.
And it's interesting because when she went to go hang out with another friend that we brought to this football game for her brother, well, my wife noticed that this girl kind of looks like a boy too. And she's like, do you go by preferred pronouns? Why do you dress like a boy? Questioning her friend in front of her at this point. That's where we're at.
You have to, because if you don't, I mean, you got to get down to the bottom of what's going on with your children and who's around them. You have to know.
Yeah. And then she was really pissed off that her friend was like confronted like that in front of her. So we took away her phone and we had to discipline her some more and yada yada. So it's tough.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you for sharing that story with me.
Yeah, it's a lot on my mind, a lot to get off my chest too. It's ongoing. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
Yeah, man. So you heard my man right there. Please, please, please talk to your kids. Figure out what's going on. Who is this that you're around? Is this a boy? Is this a girl? Like, what's really happening? Ask the questions. Of course, kids going to be upset when you ask them stuff like that, when they get confronted, whatever, but they'll be all right. They'll be okay. 631, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Mary in Florida. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm pretty good. So, yeah, let's talk about the transgender thing for a minute. Now, I'm not as old as a dinosaur by any means, but I did go to school in the 80s and the 90s, and where were all the transgender kids at?
It wasn't a thing back then. Now it's the fad. It's
what
cool.
in the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, why is that?
I mean, I'm asking the same thing. I think a lot of it is just because of the programming that's been happening to our children through mainstream media, social media, the schools themselves, bringing in a lot of these inappropriate books to show the children. It's a lot of programming going on.
100%. It's just an observation. Just so many things that are changed, different now. But, and where is God in all this, in the homes? Not there.
Yeah.
That kid that did that, they weren't talking about God in that house.
Oh, nah, not at all.
And that's part of it too, I think.
Yeah.
And another thing, coconut on pizza, yes or no?
Coconut on pizza? I don't know. I never had that. I have to try it. But it sounds interesting. I like coconut water, but I don't know if I want the coconut on the pizza combination.
You would marry those two things together?
I don't know.
Like Bill de Blasio?
Yeah, no, I don't. It doesn't sound that great when you tell it to me.
Because Bill de Blasio, he likes to smoke. He likes to smoke those funny cigarettes. I think maybe he was, smoking those funny cigarettes when he was having the coconut on the pizza.
Hey, maybe so.
Could be. I had another question. Now I forgot. Oh, man. That's about it then.
All right. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. We love you. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep on rocking. 504. Don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Very great show. I've been enjoying it very much. And recently, about an hour ago or so, there is a shooting over in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And also, so basically, they believe that they found the suspect, but they may have found his identity. And also, one of my friends was up there, and they were coming back home, and they were in the region. So, prayers for them, but my friends are okay.
That's good.
Also, pardon?
I said it's good. Your friends are okay. I'm glad that they're okay.
Okay. So basically, I think that with the shooter, very troubled person, and also I think that the parents were really crazy, as you covered, and also I remember I was seeing that the mother locked the kids out, and they're begging to come back in at night, but she just left them out, and also the dad, what he was doing, it seemed strange to me, and also I think that it's a big mess. And as I was telling you all before last time, basically they are going after the parents now that may done neglect, because the people that are doing these school shootings, it seems that there's neglect at home, and they're going after them to make sure that parents are held accountable in their role in these instances.
Yeah, the parents definitely need to be held accountable when there's an obvious, okay, you've been warned about what happened, and you took no action, you took an irresponsible action, you need to be held responsible.
Absolutely. And, this is, a warning to all the other people and parents out there, hey, you got to watch what your kids are doing, because this can't be happening. And I think that times are getting, really crazy, and people got to understand. I was talking to some people online that, I understand people are upset with the guns, but there is a root problem here, because I was saying, like, they could use a fork, or hypothetically, or there's a lot of knife attacks in Europe, and they're going to use something else. And I think it's important to go solve the root cause of the problem, because they'll use some other kind of weapon or get it illegally.
That's right.
Yeah. And also there's the supermarket shooter, his trial's going on, and he's pleading he was insane because of schizophrenia. But this person knew what they were doing. They went and got the gun online and had it registered and everything. And there's people not taking responsibility for their actions.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's like, okay, people can say that they have some kind of mental issue, whatever. Just like in this case with the Georgia shooter. Okay, that's a mental issue, fantastic, but still, you did what you did, and you need to be held. You need to be held accountable for what you did.
Right, and I think in our society, there's a decay, culturally speaking, and people are encouraged to act more on emotions and not take responsibility for their actions. I think, generations in the past, people were held accountable more. And as time progressed, they really regressed culturally, and we have this big problem here.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, I think God plays a role. Like, I think people have distanced themselves from God. And if people are not believing in God, I believe Jesus had very good teachings. And I think if people followed that, the world and the country would be in a better situation, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah. And also today I was doing some stuff in my garden, by the way.
Okay. What you add, subtract, what you do?
All right. So what I did was I'm growing turnips.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I do it towards the fall season because they like cooler weather.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. In winter, I like to put the plants in the pots because you can bring them in cold outside.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Keep them from getting too cold outside. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay, ABL. Thank you for taking my call. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. I think that'll be a wrap for me. I think that will be a wrap for me. Let's take one more call. Then I put the ball on top. One more call. 561, your line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes. Finally, I get you. Yeah. I'm on the phone. You know you a biased person because you always talk about Kamala Harris and not Trump and all the things that he said that is wrong. And you never hear time him and the things that he do that's wrong. Even when Putin said that he like her, you blow it off like, oh, he's just joking. Why are you so biased?
I said that?
Yes, you do.
Wait. Hold on. So you said that I said that Putin was just joking?
Yes.
No,
And
I
you
didn't.
go
No,
to
ma'am.
Zero.
No, I said that the media are saying that. I was reading the articles where the media were saying that he was just joking. I was saying take him seriously and listen to what he says.
No, but why you never see the stuff them that he said? I'm not a fan of both of them, but I will take a lesser evil than the greater evil. Trump is so wrong. Even on the economy that he just talked about, when they ask him, he's just blabbing on and blabbing on. But you never hear time him. You always hear timing on the things that Kamala Harris do. And you did, and you do all things. I know you're a fan of the Republicans. That's fine. But you call a spade a spade. Not just on one person. Trump is a racist, number one.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Hold on. So what makes Trump a racist? Give me some information about that.
So, listen, if you can't see that for yourself.
Oh, okay.
First of all,
right. I got it.
Let me start out with one story. He take out some article and the Central 5 jogger.
Man, please.
Back.
People were against him when it happened. And he was no different than any other New Yorker who had a negative opinion. It was black, white, whatever. He was not the only one that had a negative opinion about them. So that's not racism.
Listen,
excuse me. And then apologize for. Because he had a negative opinion the same way a lot of New Yorkers had a negative opinion because they were kids out there who were attacking people that day. Everybody knows it. It just got some of them. That's what happened. So there's nothing to apologize for.
He's wrong in that, and he's wrong in many.
And if he was so racist, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me.
Yes.
If he was so racist, then why do so many black folks love him in New York?
Because listen, there's black folks gonna go where black folks are. First of all, I was listening a part of something that you said. You're going to be the voice of the voiceless. You can't be the voice for me. You don't speak for me, and you don't speak for all black people.
Well, the person I was talking to said I was her voice.
Okay, for her.
That's what I said.
And you say you're going to be the voice for the voiceless. So
yeah, the voiceless meaning her. You have a voice right now. You're using it, so you're not voiceless.
Okay, and she have a voice that she was using. She's not voiceless, but
she said that she can't speak about things she talks about publicly. So you are not going to. So do you feel? Excuse me. Do you feel afraid to speak how you speak publicly?
No.
All right then. So you're not voiceless. So what are we talking about?
So, but when you're talking about this Kamala Harris, I know a lot of people don't like her. Fine. I'm not a fan of Trump, and I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris. I'm not a fan either. But when you see the line, draw the line where the line is. Not just keep on one side, because you're all making the money off of her. I know that for sure.
You said what now? You said what?
You're all making money off of her right now.
Well, that's not like I'm gonna tell you something. Like y'all think y'all know how we make money. You don't know anything. You have no idea. So that shouldn't be something you talk about too much. Just talk about the topics and the policy, because the money part you don't know about.
Listen, you only hear time one person, and you're not here time. Every time, even Trump went on to Sean Hannity and talking a bunch of crap. And you sit there and you last statement that he made, you said, oh, that's a right question that he said. And he was just blabbing on and blabbing on and blabbing on. But you never correct the things that he said wrong.
What did he say wrong that I should have corrected?
No, you are the one listening. I know what he said.
I'm asking you because you said that he said something. Wait, hold on. You said he said something wrong and I didn't correct him. So what did he say wrong that I didn't correct?
Listen. Let me tell you something. When Trump do wrong, it's Trump.
But look, hold on, because we got to get in. You just saying things, but you're not giving me anything. Wait, hold on. One second. Hold up, ma'am. Listen to me now. Listen. I want you to give me something that he said wrong that you heard me listen to that I didn't correct. Just give me one thing, and I'll be satisfied. One thing.
The economy that he went on talking about, and he was ramping on when they asking him. He's supposed to be there talking about child care and all of these stuff, and he ramping on and he babbling and never answered the question. But you never say that he.
Well, what was it? What was the question What was the question, and what did he say?
Listen, I'm not going over there.
Okay.
I'm glad I get you to tell you in my mind that you're biased.
All right.
And you're only one-sided person. Listen, as I said earlier, I'm not a fan of either running mate. I'm not a fan of either of them. But you just telling people, oh, yeah, we all know. I don't know what you guys call black. Not because Kamala Harris, father is a Jamaican, mama is a Indian, and all of these stuff. And whatever she want to do from where she was coming from and reach to where she at right now. And she's not losing sleep over anything anybody wants to say. And these things that's going on, it become a stale.
Okay, I'm asking you a question. How do you feel about Kamala not doing many interviews? She's only doing one interview, and it was with. Hold on. Wait, excuse me. Now let me finish the question. How do you feel about her not doing many interviews except for the one, and she had to bring on Tim Walz? How do you feel about that?
Okay. I don't have a problem with her. If she do interview, it doesn't make a difference to me. And when she bringing on Tim Walz, it's not her alone do that. Trump did that before. And other presidents do that before. So when you guys talking about these things,
Yes, wait, excuse me. Pardon me. I'm gonna talk now. Ma'am, I'm gonna talk now.
Yes.
So now I understand that Trump and others have done joint interviews before, But that's not the point. The point is that she's done no interviews except for one, and she had to bring on somebody else. She can't do anything by herself. So that's the point I'm making.
Okay, you think that you guys have it to say she's so dumb, and listen, even if she do interview, what it's gonna do for you guys?
Well, I want the American people to be able to know who's running for president.
Well, no. You don't want the American. You want to know so you could pick apart everything that she's saying. Half American people don't care if she do interview.
Well, people should be informed about both sides. I want Trump to speak and I want Kamala to speak. Now listen, but wait, excuse me. Okay. If Trump didn't do any interviews, I criticize him too. Like, why are you doing that? Even with the town hall, I'm like, why is it taped? I don't care about criticizing anybody that need to get criticized, but it's one side that needs a lot more of it than the other, and the media is protecting one side over the other. So I'm just trying to be an honest voice for all sides, regardless of what.
Listen, even Trump is Trump, and Trump gonna be Trump, just as Kamala gonna be Kamala, and just like me gonna be me. Trump like the camera. Trump like to be in front because Trump like the platform for himself. Trump like, and he have a VP that they on different pages. One talking about this, child care, one saying, oh, you should get your mother-in-law or your grandparents to watch your kids. You think those people have time to do these things? They already raised us. That's not what grandparents for. So when they had two different pages, how you think a president supposed to run? Don't the VP should be on the same page as the president?
Well, they should be, but that's nothing to do with what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the president is who we're voting for, not the vice president. I want the president to speak. The vice president, listen, the vice president has their role, and that's fine, but I want to talk to the president because you can be the leader.
Okay.
Excuse me, wait a minute. Excuse me. The vice president is not the leader. The president is. So I want you to speak. I want to hear from you. It's Kamala, Biden, Trump, Obama, whoever it is. I want to hear from them. But I know we can talk a lot longer, but I got to go. Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you. Excuse me. Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you. Have a good night.
Stop being biased.
All right. Thank you. Stop being biased. Ear me now. Shout out to the Jamaican lady. I appreciate you for calling. I really do. I like the back and forth. But that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you have heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Shout out to everybody that's watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the mods keeping the trolls in check. I really, really appreciate that. But that'll be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday, because we got the debate. So I'll be live on Tuesday. I'll be live on Wednesday and Saturday next week. But definitely Tuesday, we get the debate. Tuesday, not October, Tuesday, September the 10th. And I'm going to be here at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I'll be here. I believe it starts at 9, but I'll be here at 8. Regardless of what, we're going to be on time. No CP time, no ABL time, no none of that. We're going to be on time and ready for the debate. We will be streaming it 100%. We're going to have audio. Look, wait, watch this. We're going to have audio and video. Imagine that. Audio and video of the debate. No janky stuff. So shout out to all you guys for being here. Really, really appreciate y'all. I'll be back again on Tuesday live, but I'm putting out pre-recorded content all throughout the week. Shout out to you guys for subscribing to my new channel, Uncle ABL. We're already at 18,000 subs on accident. I'm going to put more content over there coming up in the week here. I got a few videos to react to. I'm going to do like my man said and put out some content about diet, exercise, all that kind of good stuff because I am a health nut. If y'all didn't know I'm a health nut, like the way I look right now, I'm going to look the exact same way when I'm 80 years old. It is what it is. The same beer, everything, the same salt, pepper, the black on top is going to be the same way when I'm 80 years old. So I'll talk about that kind of stuff over there. But that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys again. I got super chats on deck. I'm going to read those. Then I'll wrap it on up and put the bow clean on top. Yeah, I ain't going to be late, man. I'm going to be on point for the debate. That's going to be monumental. Oh my goodness. Bring your popcorn. Bring whatever kind of snacks you got, because it's going to be a time. Okay. And if you want to get a glass of wine, just go ahead and put your cup on the TV. Put it right there in the front of the TV. And I think you might get a few squirts from Trump stomping out Kamala, figuratively, YouTube censors, figuratively. That's it. Thank you to K My Way, who says, "You are my voice, ABL. I'm in South Florida, surrounded by blue. I can't talk. The older Jamaican population are conservative by nature, but due to race politics, they stay stuck in the blue side." Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate you. I'm glad you're able to, just chime in and give me that right now. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, if Trump was a racist, why did Oprah want to be his running mate? Because he's not. Also, speaking about Trump being a so-called racist, do y'all know that Trump financed Jesse Jackson's not one but two runs for president? Fun fact. He's a racist though, right? Oh, okay. And that was in the 80s and 90s, but racist, right? Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says popcorn, pizza, and grapes to get stomped into wine on Debate Tuesday. Trump 47, right on. Thank you to Good Samaritan's Kitchen, who says thankful for your platform. I remember hearing some time back. Hearing that most, if not all of these mass shooters were found to be on meds. Thoughts? Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot too. A lot of SSRIs, a lot of these antidepressants, and what else they put them on? They put them on stuff like Ritalin and anti-anxiety, Ativan, all of that. That's going to mess you up. That's going to make you have a really bad breakdown, ultimately. You don't want to put on stuff like that. Thank you to Laura Catherine, who says, we the people are being systematically replaced. Hope people wake up and vote Trump. I hope so too. Thank you to Triad716, who says, 10% goes to Jesus, but another 10% on every paycheck for prep food, emergency gear, and ammo wouldn't hurt either. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And I think thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says, only people coming up are the illegals with the business startup money from taxpayers. Yeah, I read that one earlier. And it's right on point. It is 100% correct. But I think that will be a wrap for me. So shout out to you guys again. I'll be back live on Tuesday for the debate. I'll be here 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll get rocking and rolling. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.